FDMG!
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history. We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will in order
audio and video issues already. Let me know if everything's working for you all. We got a little bit to get into. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
So you're fancy, huh?
Yeah, black community activist.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See her eyes shine, she's my slow bunny please. In the winter lights, so she's my sweet dust of free. Tuck to my nose, this lover's got is so raw.
All right, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're going to be going here, Jerry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get going here, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going, John Day and Joshua? Period. How's it going, y'all? All right, we rocking and rolling now, family. Yeah. That's my little secret. Welcome, Fairchild, Edwin, Amira, and Lady Bam. Peace to y'all. That's the call, Roddy Moon, Giannis Noble. Let's just set it off. Red October's in the building. Gazelle Kevin. What's up, James? Salute. So salute to you, sir. Ruben Lidibera. Welcome. All right, Sweet Tea. Sequoia. Yep, sir. All right. Let's get going here. How's it going, Golden Child? Hope you're doing all right. I feel like we ain't got together about. How's it going, London? Brother Nappiness is here as well. Brian Steele's here. Yep. That's y'all. That's y'all. What's up, OM? Man, kick it right. As Umar acknowledges, I don't know. I don't know. I thought he posted on his did he post on his Instagram? What's up, Black Mario? Salute, Black Anonymous. Thank you for being here, Edwin. Mr. I. No, don't worry about it, Jerry. It's all good. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Carlita, ¿cómo está? Shout out to the Mom, Super Chest, Undefeated, Radiant Shadow, Leona White, Whitney, excuse me. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Respect, Barry Perspective. Hope you're doing all right, brother. Barry Perspective's been around a long time as well, as we always do. All right. What's up, Sandy? Thank you for tuning on in. And everyone else out of Quick Crush Chat, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I wasn't planning on playing it, but I figured why not go on ahead and do it. Okay. I'm starting a little bit late, a lot later than what I'd anticipated. Let me just be real. I wasn't feeling well, you know. So like by the time I got home, I said, let me change this time to 6:30. And I took me about a 45-minute nap and then jumped in the shower and here we are. But I feel a little bit better. So we're going to get into this. We don't have much to get into. There's a video that I've been meaning to cover. It's from the 9th. So we're a little bit behind. There's also a video from the 21st of last month that I wanted to get to. But I think it's a teleconference. I don't really like doing those because people call in and Umar gives horrible advice and the people are telling all their businesses. I don't like to put people's business out there like that. But there have been times when we've covered some of those Black parent teleconferences. If we have a little extra time, we might get into that. Other than that, one thing I want to say before we get into the video for today is that Umar, he knows that FDMG is over. Not only does Umar know that FDMG is over, he knew back in 2014. Okay, remember, he conceptualized FDMG in 2004. He began the process of building this great institution in 2005. So a lot of people don't know that history. So we're talking, it's been over 20 years. What's interesting about this, however, is the fact that, of course, in 2010, this is over 15 years ago, Umar stated on his Facebook page, promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan African School for Black boys specializing in learning disability and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. The grand opening September 11, 2013. This is chess, not checkers. So the school is supposed to open in 2013. A lot of people don't know this. This is probably the most important receipt that I've come across post. And this was on his first Facebook page. He has a more recent Facebook page, but he doesn't use this one anymore. He rather uses the other one. The point being is that in 2010, even though Umar, in his mind, he may have thought that it was still possible. By the time we get to 2014, he starts raising for this money for the St. Paul's College. He already knew that this was not going to happen. And a lot of people don't know that the idea for Umar, what he really presented to people was this idea and notion that within the matter of a month or two, let's give him some grace. In a matter of 2 months, he was going to raise $2 million. Okay, then he went up to $4 million. So put in a bid for St. Paul's College. Okay, that's the precursor to the Wilmington, Delaware school scam that he's running now. Okay, that's all the way back in 2014. But there's a video where Umar, he's dressed in a suit and he's trying to kind of promote this idea of raising this money to get money out of. He's been at this for such a long time. It's incredible. He was raising money before that for different FDMG related scams. The Umar Johnson Boy Scout Club, or whatever he called it. It's just a bunch of foolishness. But the point is that was back in 2014. And if we listen to that video, we've watched it a few times during these live streams. Shout out to the Quick Crush Chat. If you listen carefully, you can tell he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to get as much money as he possibly can. He doesn't have a team, doesn't have a board of directors. He doesn't have lawyers on deck, teachers on deck, none of that stuff. He doesn't even have an idea of what the curriculum is going to be. I'm talking about a written curriculum. He doesn't have any of that. And if you listen carefully to what he says in the interview, he says, listen, if we don't raise the money, keep sending money. If we don't get St. Paul's, just keep sending money. We're going to keep collecting money, even if we don't get St. Paul's. Well, that was back in 2014. Y'all realize that was that's 11 years ago. Over 11 years ago now, because that was in May of 2014. That's a long time ago. So even back then, Umar knew that this wasn't going to happen. But the thing was that the money was coming in, so much money was coming in, and he raises over $1 million by the time we get to 2016. And then in 2019, he purchased abandoned buildings in February of 2019, and he's been sitting on them now for 6 years now, and he continues to collect money. He's raised well over $2.7 million. I'm just rehashing this because before we get into this receipt for today, the point is that it's Umar knew back in 2014 that this wasn't going to happen. He didn't have a plan then, and guess what? He doesn't have a plan now. Interesting enough, if you guys look at Umar's behavior too, it's a little bit different this year because normally he would be up there a whole lot more begging for money. But see, back then he could come up with excuses. He'll act like he's doing something. Now he's just picking up trash. He'll go up there to pick up some trash or something. But back in the day, he was talking about, we're going to do paint days. We're going to do this. We're going to get some carpets laid. We're going to get the HVAC. And all, we're doing plumbing. But you can only say that for so long. And then in 2023, he said renovations are complete. Well, here we are. Obviously, they're not. They weren't, and they're still not. He lied then to get money out of people, just like he's still lying today to get money out of people. This year is interesting, though, because I haven't seen him up there all that much. Now, I haven't been following Umar as closely as I have in the past. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, though. I haven't seen him up there all that much. Normally, he gets up there and he ramps it up during the once we get into spring, once we get into summer. That may change, though, as we get closer, because he needs money. At the end of the day, he needs money. All this was a money grab. It was a money grab back in 2014. It's a money grab in 2025, just like he was trying to scam the UNIA back in 2005 for a money grab, trying to get money out of them for a building initiative, a building fund. Sound familiar? It's the same thing over and over again. Umar's been at this for such a long time. So before we get into this today, I just want to reiterate that. I know I've shown this receipt many times before, but it's worth showing over and over and over again. Because even by the time we get to 2014, Umar has no clue what he's doing. But he did know that he could stretch this out and continue to collect money from people. And here we are, what is this? 2014, 11 years later, and it's about to be 11 years. Yeah, it'll be 11 years in a month since he recorded this particular video right here.
And I've done a lot of free work, and there's a lot of people I've really helped out who didn't donate.
Are there any types of individuals or organizations that you would not accept monies from? For example, let's say an organization.
This is June. I said April. It's June. I said May and then I said April. But it's June 20th of 2014. I want people to think about that. This is when he was promoting St. Paul's, raising money for St. Paul's.
Wants to invest in your school.
By the way, this is Umar, one of his alter personalities. This is Umar, the psychologist, Umar, the professional. This is Umar, has 6 degrees. He's a school psychologist, et cetera, et cetera. So his mannerisms are different. The way he dresses is different. His hairstyle is a bit different. How he speaks is different. He has on the glasses. He's trying to look studious because he's promoting this idea of opening up a school for Black boys and acquiring the St. Paul's College. So he wants to give the illusion that he's some sort of professional. That he's a shapeshifter in these ways. Y'all see this? Hit the one.
Meaning that they want to perhaps own a percentage or even.
I'm not giving any ownership. And invest, I have to be careful with that. Because if someone wants to invest in my school with a capitalistic intent, meaning I want to put in to get back, I want to make money off your school, this is not the place for that. I'm not opening this school to get rich. It's going to be a not-for-profit academy, not a for-profit academy. I'm not doing this to swell my pockets or the pockets of anyone else. So if you want to...
You see this? And he's been collecting money for 11 years, almost 11 years, it'll be 11 years in a month.
To invest philanthropically.
And listen, we can't say that we see over $2 million worth of investment into these abandoned buildings. Again, the online records show $400,000. It's going to be much less than that. But we haven't seen $1.6 million worth of work being put into these abandoned buildings. Where's all this money gone? And again, I've stated that based upon my research and trajectory, based upon how much money he raised, the last time he gave an update, it was $850,000. That was in 2020. He hasn't updated, and including you donors, he hasn't updated you guys on how much money he's actually collected. But it's been almost 5 years, almost half a decade. Just think about that. So where's all this money going? $2.7 million. There should be about, I would estimate about $1.8 million that's missing. But if we go based upon the bare minimum of $2 million that I've already proven, there's about 1.3, let's say $1.2 million that's missing, okay, over the last 11 years. Okay, so when he says that I'm not trying to pad my pockets, no, that was the scheme from the beginning. This is nothing new. Okay, he's always been like this. He tried to pull the same type, it's not the same type, but a similar type of scam on the UNIA in Philadelphia. That's why He put in a letter of resignation in 2005.
Without no expectation of return, I'm looking for those kind of investors. That's what these donations have been. These are people who are investing philanthropically because their payoff for helping me isn't going to be monetarily, it's going to be spiritually. And it's going to be in seeing the next generation of African boys being properly educated and prepared for this racist society that they have to live.
Let me say this, though. I actually think that Umar had issues prior to 2014. Yeah, I don't know what he was dabbling. I won't say dabbing in, what he was dabbling in. But I believe that he had issues because I have videos, older Umar Johnson, even before 2014, this video right here. And you can see there's something going on with the sniffing and doing like this with his nose all the time. It's just gotten worse over time. That's all. See? How's it going, Black Anonymous? Someone said Umar Urkel. Yeah, we always outside. Thank you for tuning on in. Umar trying to be Urkel. How's it going, Radiant Shadow? Thanks for tuning on in. I ain't gonna keep y'all long too. We're gonna get into this. He's a pure liar, demonic alien personality. Yeah, he's what's up, Mega D? Mega D been around a long time. Umar, he's a shapeshifter. He will become whatever he. But narcissists are like that though too. They will be whatever they need to be in order to manipulate people to whatever degree. It reminds me of Palpatine. You know, in Star Wars, he could be different things to different people. He was a master manipulator in that way. And Umar, he's the great deceiver of our time. He's a master manipulator. He has people still thinking that, even his followers, they still think the school's going to open in 2025, even though he stated, we already covered the video last week, he stated that the school will open in 2026 now. He's changed the date again. He has his followers believing that he's still a school psychologist. No, he's not a school psychologist. See? But he knows how to morph and become what people either want him to be, or he gives them what he wants them to think that he is. And in that way, he has these different personalities that he can pull out at any given time. It's really interesting. But his core personality is little Jermaine. It's just a little lost boy. Okay, straight up. Smitty Boy says, Snow Bunny is a song of the year. I'll be playing this when me and my girlfriend be making dinner. Don't tell Umar that. I'll be getting on her nerves. Thanks, Leonard, for his song. Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't produce the song. I just produced and I didn't do the AI. What I did was I just compiled it and put it into kind of like a musical video format with stuff with Umar inside of it. Actual video footage of Umar. Thanks, Smitty Boy. Yeah, I bet your girlfriend probably drive your girlfriend crazy. Okay. Don't tell Umar though. No, I'm just playing. All right. Thank you so much, Smitty Boy, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks everyone too for all your support here on the channel over the years. I really appreciate y'all. Okay. Let me just play a little more of this, then we're going to get to the video for today. Here we go.
So that's going to be their payoff. But someone who's looking to make money off the school, I'm not interested in that type of investment.
So those that donate to the school, are the donations tax deductible?
Not at this point. Once we are tax deductible, which hopefully should be by the time tax season comes around, most of them should be able to retroactively write off the amount.
Yeah. Umar said it, and he said it in a couple of videos, but there's a video that came more recently that appeared back online, but it's an older video where there's a black woman who's asking Umar about accreditation, and Umar admits that he doesn't plan on having the school accredited, but there's an older video, even older than that, where he admitted that. And that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense, because after these children, their parents pay $500 a month, and then at a certain point they graduate. It would have to be 6 or 7 years down the line, based upon Umar saying that he's going to start with 3rd or 4th grade, something to that effect. So we're talking about once the school opens, allegedly, okay, hypothetically speaking, and children are enrolled, it's going to take about 7 or 8 years before he gets his first graduating class. And when that first graduating class actually graduates, they're going to have to go get their GED, because the diploma, it's going to be associated with a school that's it's not even accredited. So it's a waste. It's just a waste, a total waste of money, waste of time, you know. But Umar doesn't care. Again, it was always a money grab. It was a money grab back in 2014. It's a money grab today. Nothing's changed.
That they donated, or some portion of that. But again, you know, and I say this respectfully, we can't only do things expecting to get something back. I've had several people contact me. I want to donate, but I want to make sure I can get it off my taxes. Keep your donation. I'm looking for people who are trying to sacrifice.
In 2014, he didn't have tax exempt status.
We are at war as a people, and he got
it later, but then it was the IRS, they took it away because Umar wasn't filing proper paperwork, and that was by 2017. Okay, and then by the time he acquires these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware in 2019, he still doesn't have tax exempt status. And then it takes him about roughly a year and a half to get it. That's why he has there was, what was it, property tax. It was over $100,000 altogether, wasted money because he didn't have his paperwork in order. See, he didn't have his paperwork in order in 2014, and he didn't have his paperwork in order in 2019. It just goes to show you. Yeah, it was revoked. That's what it's called. Yeah, it was revoked. All right. Yeah, you do have a point, Tristan. I shouldn't say the FDM is over because that implies that it was started. What I'm saying is that the idea of FDMG, excuse me, the idea of FDMG as a possibility, it's over. But the truth is that it was over even back in 2014. Now I'm going to get to the part where he actually explains that.
The war against our boys. So if you I do, some of them are also speak federal crime. That is the school's name for things that are not related to the school. Black leaders who have robbed us blind, and they don't have a physical school yet. Most of the time what they do is they write expenses.
Funds are going to be misappropriated or anything like
Well, the proof is in the pudding. You know, as I said, everything's traceable. I mean, there's an account for the school. The checks are going to the school. When people misappropriate.
See, and this is why someone said this about the UNIA thing. And that's why I think it's more plausible than what I was speculating about. In the UNIA issue, the issue with the UNIA, Umar put in his resignation letter. We went over that last week. Actually took some time to really cover that. It'll be covered in the documentary as well. But I was proposing that perhaps the reason why Umar they were going to kick him out of the UNIA was because he got a hold of checks and he was trying to cash these checks. But then there's the legalities of that. But then I thought in my mind, well, if you're dealing with an organization like UNIA and there are some things that are going on behind the scenes that most people don't know about, and it may be illegal with Umar taking checks or what have you, it's possible that they wouldn't want that to, and this is all speculation, they wouldn't want that to get out there into the open. Okay, they didn't want that to become known in public record. So instead, maybe perhaps speculation, they just figured, hey, listen, we're going to kick Umar out. But he puts in his resignation letter in advance of that. But then someone else had stated, and I think it's more plausible, that Umar, he probably received checks, which he did. He actually stated that he did, but he was misappropriating the funds. And at a certain point, when they gave him checks, they said, listen, we're gonna stop these checks. We're gonna actually cancel these checks, so that Umar can't gain access to these funds because he's not using the money like he said that he would. Well, that's what he's been doing with FDMG money since at least 2014. Okay, he was raising money way before that. He'll only say 2014, but that's specifically for the St. Paul's College. We're going to start with that. Umar's been misappropriating funds since 2014. There's literally at bare minimum $1.3 million that's missing right now since 2014. Bare minimum. Okay, that's if we go with the $2 million figure that I can prove. I've already proven over and over again. But my best estimate is that it's closer to $2.7 million, and maybe closer to 2.8 by now. But let's go 2.6, 2.7. People have speculated it could be 3 million. Yeah, it's possible. But I'm going to say, based upon my research and the trajectory of all of this, $2.6, $2.7 million. And if that is the case, then we're talking there's probably anywhere 1.8, somewhere around $1.8 million that's just missing. Okay, maybe a little more than that. The point, and that's over the course of 10, 11 years. The point is that Umar's been misappropriating funds. No matter how people look at this, he's been misappropriating funds. He doesn't have his own vehicle. He rents cars. How does he pay that? Okay, he doesn't have his own home when he can't stay inside of his mother's closet, which he's been doing since 2000, because he was evicted in 2019. He's been doing that since 2020, if memory serves me correctly. But he doesn't have his own home. So if he can't stay inside his mama's closet, where does he go? He has to rent hotel rooms. Okay, who's paying for all these hotel rooms? I mean, I'm talking about throughout the month, every single month, throughout the years, the last, not 11 years, but since 2019. So we're talking about roughly 6 years. Let's give Umar some grace. We'll say 5 years. Okay, who's paying for all that? That's expensive. Umar likes to eat out. He likes to eat a lot. Okay, he likes to gamble. Let me show you all something real quick, because we're now in the basketball. We're getting a little bit further on. We're getting closer to the finals. Anyone remember this right here? Look at this. Anybody remember this? Hit the one. Yeah, I do the research, and I'm always fair with Umar. In fact, I always give Umar grace. Yeah, he's traveling the world. Who's paying for all of that? It's a very expensive lifestyle. Okay, he likes to gamble. Anybody remember this right here? Okay, and again, I propose that Umar has a substance abuse issue. Okay, I showed the video for members too last week, where he's talking about the drug paraphernalia that was inside these abandoned buildings. These abandoned buildings, that's nothing more than a drop-off spot. Yeah, Black Anonymous, I'm sure you will. And this is just one example, because there's other times where he's posted that he's going to gamble on different things. In particular, because he's from Philadelphia. Most of my viewers are from Philadelphia too. Interesting. How's it going, Jackson? Most of my viewers are from Philadelphia. They're watching my live streams. Shout out to Philly. But I believe Coltrane, he made a big name in Philadelphia too, by the way. It's one of my favorite jazz musicians. The point is that Umar, whenever the I don't think he did this last year, but in past years where the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, were in the hunt for a Super Bowl, even if they're not in the Super Bowl quite yet, they're in the playoffs. Umar would post how he's going to go ahead and gamble money in order to raise money to open up a school. Did you guys know that? A lot of people don't know this about this guy. Oh, Grover Washington Jr. too? All right, yeah, shout out to Grover, rest in peace. Grover Washington Jr. is one of my favorites too. He was a hard bop, what they call a hard bop tenor saxophone player initially, but then he didn't necessarily start a new genre, but he was one of the forefront for what later became known. It's more like what they call smooth jazz, which really was funk. It was funk jazz, really what it was. But you can go back to old what is it, Detroit? What was it? Barry Gordy. You go back to Motown. You go listen to some of that older stuff. That was smooth jazz back then. If you listen to what the alto players and the tenor players were, how they were playing back then. Anyway, getting off topic. How's it going, God's Little Princess? Yeah. He was gambling back in the day, but he would post. Let me read this here. FDMG is going to put up some funds in hopes of raising enough money to cover remaining repairs on our Garvey building. We trying to hit Vegas for $2 million. Which team should we gamble on? Hey, this is Boston Celtics versus the Bucks, and that was the year that the Bucks won the championship, right? If memory serves me correctly. So this is quite a few years ago. Anybody remember what year this was? Matter of fact, just to prove the point even further, let me do this for you all. I mean, there's so much money that's been wasted. This guy, he's wasted so much money. It's incredible. He's wasted over $100,000 on taxes that would not have been needed to be. Why isn't this coming up here? Taxes that would not have needed to have been paid. Wait, I know where it's at. Because he didn't tax exempt status, he had his paperwork in order, and that's wasted money. It was over $100,000. It's under special request. Let me see if I can find this. Give me 1 second, everyone. I apologize. It came to mind just now. Special request. What's going on with my special request? Let me see if this comes up. I should have this in my main folder where I do these live streams. I don't have it in there for some reason. Let's see. Umar talking about his baby mama, and when he was on supervised visitation, Umar in the bathtub that time. Umar shopping. Umar. What is this? Where he got pulled over by the police? I'm not seeing it in here. Yeah, it's not coming up here. I thought I had it archived under Gamble. Let me see. Gamble. I thought I had it archived under Gamble because there's two of them. Let me just see. If it doesn't come up, we'll just keep going. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not coming up for some reason. Really, really strange. Anyway, if I find it, I'll pull it up in just a little bit. But anyway, this is just one example of Umar posting these types of things. But he's also he's actually done videos where he's gambling. Like he's actually at a Umar's going to be on my channel. I hope not. He's actually gambling at a casino, and it's donors' money. I'm betting on the Grand Rapids Granny Arch. Okay, yeah, I'm sure they're going to win, Kiara. They always win. All right, yeah. The Granny Arches that Umar had. This is just a bunch of foolishness. When he had one of his, I think it was his first block party. He actually had these older women that had bows and arrows. At least one of them I saw, and that was supposed to be security, and they were walking around being mean. And someone, I think it was Big Man, named them Granny Archers. So that's a long story. Thanks, Carol, for the super chat. Okay, let me play a little bit more of this, and I'm going to see if I can find this other receipt. Hold on.
So the time what they do is they write expenses in the school's name for things that are not related to the school.
See, that's what I'm saying. It may be possible. He may be projecting right here. He may be talking about what he did when he was in the UNIA. That's what I think.
This is a fundraiser. So there shouldn't be no money coming out of the account because I don't have any bills for the school because we don't have a physical school yet. So if I was taking out a check to get something done, okay, I would expect some questions like, what are you spending this fundraising money on? You don't even have a school yet. So the money is only going into the account. There's nothing coming out of the account because we don't have a school yet. You see, so I don't mind the questions because I'm not a crook or a thief, but it does bother me because we have had black leaders who have robbed us blind and they never get these questions. We got black churches who rob us blind every Saturday, Sunday. Not every church, but many of them, they don't get these questions. You know, so it's interesting that I would get these questions with a track record that I have of being honest and giving so much of my free time for stuff that other people charge tens of thousands of dollars for.
What?
But again, it's only been a few people. And most of the people who have scrutinized, what am I doing with this money? Even though I have a website, even though there's a video, even though.
Okay, the website, it had a PayPal. No, he didn't have PayPal this time. It had his P.O. box on there so for people to donate. There wasn't a curriculum. There wasn't a plan. You know, there wasn't, what do they call that? A mission statement or anything like that. It was a landing page. That's what you call it. Okay. And there is a difference. Well, technically, yeah, well, not it's more semantics. But the point is that today in 2025, does Umar have an FDMG website? Good question. Does Umar have a FDMG website? That's the first thing you set up and you maintain it. Did he have one in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020? Why do people take this guy seriously? 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. What in the world? What are you talking about? What in the world? Listen, Cookie Crush Chat, we need to stop this madness today, okay? He don't got no website. That's a doggone shame. It's a doggone shame. What's up, Domo Jones? Salute. Yeah, that was another scam that he ran for a while. It was Umar TV.tv, and he was getting subscriptions, and then they signed up, but he didn't do nothing. He did a couple of things. Another one was a Big Papa podcast that he did. If anyone ever has all the podcasts and you send them to me, I'll send you $100. Okay? I only have 2 of them, and I can't find one of them. Okay? But that one of them was crazy that I still have, because that's when he's talking as if the school's already open and he's giving a parent orientation, and he starts talking crazy. At one point, he says that he's gonna have the boys come up to the school at night dressed in suits, and he gonna cuddle with them by the fire. Don't make me pull that up. That's very disturbing. But that was part of the Big Papa podcast. That he don't do that. He told people he was going to, he collected money for it. Same thing with his Rules of Romance book. Same thing with his shockumentary. Y'all remember the shockumentary? It was supposed to premiere in 2014. He was collecting money all the way up to 2022, if memory serves me correctly. Still doesn't exist. Just like the school, right? He's such a scam artist. Yeah. You ain't seen that? Most people, listen, 99.9% of Umar Johnson followers, they've never heard what Umar said in that Big Papa podcast. And he didn't even take the time to edit it out or nothing. I said, there's something wrong with this guy. Don't make me pull it up. Yeah, he had pillows. He was selling pillows on the street corner. Here's a video of Umar gambling too. There's 2 of them. This one was from 2022. Here we go. Hold on a second. I pulled up both of them. I found them.
Chilly in Vegas tonight.
This interface is trash.
It's kind of chilly in Vegas tonight. Might hit a few slots. winning some dollars to renovate the Frederick Douglass building at the FDMG.
See, he knows all the terminology too. That might hit some slots, you know.
Fresh and Fit mentioned me in the show. What they had to say? Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Black queens.
He got that itch. Yeah, enlightened. He barely keep his eyes open.
Forever, snow bunnies never.
Yeah. That's how
my skin glowing because I'm the Bruce Leroy of this shit. My skin glowing because I'm the Bruce Leroy of this shit.
He tell black people you can't be supporting NFL. He be gambling on NFL, and you can't support the black white man and their what he calls paraphernalia, like their clothes and stuff. But look what he got on, and someone donated that to him too. By the way, hit the one.
Las Vegas, free games. What we got?
Look at that poor cat.
What we got?
Stuck in his tree.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We need $1 million for the Frederick Douglass High School. Come on.
You see how ridiculous this is?
Got a credit of $16. Let's see what we got. Total bet. Let's go, family. Give it to me now. Give it to me. Give it to Big Papa. Give it to Big Papa. What we got? I don't even know what I'm doing because I don't know how to gamble. This is crazy.
No, he's gambling. How do you not know how to gamble if you're gambling? See this guy?
Let's go. I am a tiger. Tiger year just ended. I am a tiger. I need some money to the Grand Buddha. I need some money. Come on, let's make it pop.
What? He said, let's make it pop.
All right. What we got? We got some credits. Hit the cash app. We got to get money by any means necessary.
See that? He's gambling while he's spending y'all's money, you donors' money, because he ain't got no job. Right? He ain't got no job. He got the donations. Get on your Cash App. Back then he had Cash App. They got Jay shut him down because of fraud. But you see, he's gambling, and while he's gambling away you donors' money, he's telling you to get on your Cash App. He's telling you to send him money. See this?
Right. What we got? We got some credits. Hit the Cash App. We got to get money by any means necessary. Frederick Douglass High School renovations coming right up. Okay. Let's see what we got. What we got? Am I going to win some money? When am I going to win some money? I need some money. Shout out to Las Vegas for packing the auditorium. West Las Vegas Public Library auditorium is packed. We need funding, brothers and sisters. We need funding. Marcus Garvey, Elementary School Operations, Frederick Douglass High School, renovations. Marcus Garvey Elementary School Operations, Frederick Douglass High School, renovations.
The FDMG, it's just to get money out of people. That's all it is. It's not about opening up a school for black boys. Yeah, this guy, it's a shame. It really is. And he has no shame.
Understand, overstand, and understand. There can be no black power without the black dollar. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. There will be no black power without the black dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, I just hit, y'all. Look. I just hit. What's up? Wait a minute, they said I just hit.
See the terminology? He know the terminology.
I just hit, family. What we got? I just hit. What I win, y'all? What I win?
75 cents.
Las Vegas Queens showed up and showed out last night. Las Vegas Queens showed up and showed out.
Yeah, real quick question. Is there any justification for this? Someone who's been raising money. This was in 2022. So at this point, he had been raising money. We'll just go with the St. Paul's school scam for about 8 years. Is there any justification for this? He's supposed to be a school psychologist and a principal and a vice principal, and he wants to be the principal for your children at this. Well, I shouldn't say your children, but for these the donors and the people who want to send their children to this fake school that doesn't exist. He wants to be the principal. Is there any justification for this behavior? And this is what he's doing with the money that people sent him to open up a school. Like Ike was saying, is this a business plan? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's totally inappropriate. All right. Someone said he hit 715 nickels. Oh no. Yeah. One time he was gambling. He was going on a boat. It was some sort of a boat. It was in New Jersey, from what I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but it's extremely inappropriate, right? Hey, then this is not even a skilled game where you have a chance to win. These are push button games. Yes, and they're already rigged against people. That's just how they're designed. It's just not like any strategy involved whatsoever. You just push the button. Yeah, it is. It's just totally inappropriate. How's it going? She Cooks and Roast. Thank you so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't see any justification for this.
Extra 5. You said it's time to cash out? Let me see. I just hit the cash out. Cash out.
$9.90.
Cash out voucher. $9.90.
So this is how you're gonna get renovations done. It is Fairchild. It's just bad. It's a bad look.
Let me see. Can I put it back in there?
So go ahead. $9.90.
You're not cashing out. Let's go. Hit the Cash App. Hit the PayPal.
He's telling people to send the money for the school so that he can gamble. Yeah, he did, bro. He sure did.
Hit the PayPal.
Yeah, see, there's no strategy involved in this. He's just hitting the button.
I hit. Uh-oh. I hit, y'all. Uh-oh. 18 hours.
Hey,
I can get my $20 back.
Oh, so he put 20 in. That's what he's saying. He put 20 in. That's y'all's money. It ain't mine. That's a cookie. That's a Cookie Crush. That's money. I'm just messing with y'all. Lady Bell, that's your money. That ain't my money. Me's money, family. Y'all sent him that 20. He put that 20 down to get $9.95. Let me keep going. It don't make no sense. That's y'all's principal and that's y'all's money. Jesus Christ done send him a couple bucks. I'm just messing with y'all. Here we go. He need to get that lotion, something. I don't know. I don't mean to be like that, but man, boy, his knuckles. Boy, them knuckles, boy. Fingernails all yellow and shit. But anyway, let's keep going. He got them gorilla knuckles. Let me stop. You know the gorillas, their knuckles be real. Let me stop. All right, here we go.
I'm cashing out. I had enough of this. I'm cashing out. I'm cashing out.
Damn. Umar made $15.29 off of $20. That's crazy. He's wasting money. Well, all right. Well, that's y'all's money. It ain't mine. Okay.
Let me ask you later, Mama.
Now look at him. Damn. So this is one of the videos where he's up here gambling. Here's another one.
I could do it now. I could do it now.
Let me get the date on this.
Black family. Vegas, I enjoyed you. Thanks for coming out. Kings, queens, elders, and youth. It was all October or November for the Nevada State.
Boy, look at it.
Black Parent Know Your School Rights Boot Camp. Oakland is going down today. Oakland, today the Prince is back. 5 long years. Last visit was 2016, sold out double lecture, just like Vegas. Today we will be at the Church of All Faiths in Oakland. Church of
Yeah, so this one was from about 4 years ago. This was in 2021. So this was actually before the other one. The other one was 2022. Yeah, he's gambling.
Of All Faiths, 2100 Fifth Avenue. 2100 Fifth Avenue. Black Parent Advocate book release, 550 pages of liberation information for the babies.
He is. He's
Crush
right
special ed, crush ADHD, crush conduct disorder, crush ODD, crush.
Yeah, he's manic right now.
Expulsion, crush misdiagnosis, crush medication. Oaktown, the Prince is back. West Coast Ifatunde. West Coast Ifatunde. West Coast Ifatunde. I'm feeling good today.
His hair is a mix of Kid and Play and the Coolio. You talking from the other video. Yeah, he's cut it down because when he went to Africa, they probably told him, if you're going to come back to Africa, you're going to have to cut your hair. That's what they probably said. I'm making it up. But when he went to Africa to get his citizenship, that's when he cut his hair off. But there's different points with Umar. Remember, I was showing this video. We're going to come back to this video too.
We're in the process.
This is Umar when he's
paperwork that needs to be.
The difference, this was because he was trying to present himself as a professional. That's what he's trying to do here. But over the years, you can see the deterioration. Again, this is 2014. Let me pull up a video from 2025. This is the video we're going to get into today. Check this out.
On the street, several.
Look at him. See this guy? See this? And then you can compare that, to this.
If I was.
This is 2014. This is about 10 years later.
For that.
Here he is again right here. Yeah, that's the conference. KR for the super chat. User 225 says Umar Johnson is getting older. He can't keep traveling back and forth to Panhandle at the Bando. He will pivot to the I was sabotaged by XYZ grift at some point. Yeah, he's been using different excuses for years now. He was making up excuses why he couldn't find a building. You guys remember that? From 2014 to 2019. He was finding excuses since 2019 as to why the school hasn't opened, why renovations hadn't started. Remember, that was the blueprints, why the HVAC hadn't been delivered yet. He even blamed his supporters for the reason why the HVAC was delayed. He blamed God one time, too. I said, man, you crazy. The point is that with Umar, he's always used this term sabotage going all the way back to 2005. So, no, yeah, he already has excuses lined up, including the excuse that the city is not going to grant him the certificate of occupancy, and therefore he's going to have to take them to court for discrimination. Okay, he's already thinking way in advance. Even back in 2014, he had an exit strategy then, from exiting from this idea of purchasing St. Paul's to continuing with this long con for the next 11 years, and he's still at it to this day. Okay? Yeah, he is getting older. He has physical issues too. I've also encouraged Umar to go and get physical help, because he has something with his something. I think it's his hip. Someone said it's probably sciatica. I actually think it is, because I remember he actually mentioned that before. Some of you guys may remember this. He was talking about how he needed a masseuse or something like that because he had nerves. So I thought he even mentioned the term sciatica, but this was many, many years ago. I haven't run back into that video yet in the timeline. But he has some serious mental health issues. He also has some physical health issues that need to be addressed, including the substance abuse that needs to be addressed too. So yeah, it's going to be more and more difficult for him to go back and forth and do this over and over and over again. You know, he's traveling around the world. He got to come back to Philadelphia, then he got to go to, and it's not too far away from Mama Closet. He has to go to Wilmington. He has to put on the stage show. Then he got to get back and go do what he's doing. And then he goes and travels more and more and more. And then he comes back every once in a while. It's taking a toll on Umar for sure, but it's his own doing. So if he was serious about opening the school, he would have had something taking place by now. He conceptualized this in 2004. We're talking over 2 decades. He could have had something going on right now, but he's not interested in educating children. He's not even, he doesn't have the temperament to be around children in the first place. He doesn't have the temperament. And he never has. He never has. Thanks, user 225 for the super chat. Jackson, yeah, you know, you can tell Umar when he's high. You can tell Umar when he's not, and you can tell Umar when he's fiending. He's having withdrawal symptoms, and he's always pivoting between these three. What I've noticed in my research is that as the years have progressed, you see Umar more and more where he's high, but then when you can tell the money's not there like it used to be, that's when you see him more and more in withdrawals phase. It's sad. It's so sad. But again, it's his own doing. Okay, he set this up. This is what thanks, Jackson. He wants to live out this lifestyle. He wants to gamble people's money away. He wants to sniff people's money away. He wants to eat people's money away. He wants to, you know, get hotel rooms and motels with other people's money. He wants to go and get rental cars, travel the world with other people's money. That's what he decided to do. Right? Okay, you can't blame that on anyone else. User 225 says, when this ultimately ends, will there be a glorious Umar Johnson crash out, or will he just fade into oblivion? Will he lose steam until he's officially elderly? If this goes on that long to where he's elderly, I think he would just phase out. I think he would just slowly but surely phase out. If you think about it, there's no future in Umar doing this for the next 15 years. And some people say that's a long time. Yeah, but he conceptualized this in 2005. He's been at this for over 20 years. But there's no future because by that time, he's already 50. What is he going to be talking about? He's going to open up a school when he's 65? We're all old. Well, I'm older. I'm around his age. The horizon, it's not too far away. And we got to be real with that we got to deal with that reality as we get older, right? It's not a bad thing per se, but for Umar, can you imagine him still talking about, I'm going to open up a school when it's 2030, 2035, 2040? See, it sounds crazy. It sounds like that's never going to happen. But again, he conceptualized this in 2004. He's been at this for over 2 decades. He's been sitting on these abandoned properties now for 6 years, 6 years and 3 months. So could it go for another 5 years? Yeah. Could it go for another 10? Yeah. Could it go for another 15? Okay, he'll be 65 by that time. By the way, there is a poll question. Thank you all again for tuning on. We got to get to this video now. Thank you all, everyone inside the Cooper chat for tuning on. Thanks to the mods for handling business too. Let me check on the poll question, and then let me also check to see where we're at with the likes. Our goal is always 500. So if you're enjoying the show already, go on and hit that like button. We want to try to get to 500 before we close out this live stream. Okay, we're at 250. We're halfway there. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate everyone who hit that like button. So far for the poll, we have 851 votes. The poll question is, how much longer, because this ties to what you're saying right here, using 225, how much longer will Umar Johnson hang on to the FDMG school scam? 2 more years, 5 more years, 7 more years, indefinitely. Okay, 15% say 2 more years. I can see him doing that easily. And the thing is that, let's say he sells these properties, he can still continue with this. He could just say, yeah, we're going to find another location for this or this reason. He have excuses, right? That's what he does. 9% say 5 more years. I can see him doing that too, because I remember when he acquired these abandonments, I said he probably can go for another 2 years. No, I said he could probably pull this off another 3 years, maybe 4. Well, we're 6. We're over 6 years now. So could he go for another 5 more years? Yeah, I can see that he's 50. I can see him doing this at 55. 8% say 7 more years. That's a little touchy. I don't know. I guess he could, but I don't see by that point. I mean, how many people are going to be willing to send him money? That money's not coming in like it used to, and it hasn't for a long time. right? So 7 more years, I think that's kind of stretching it a little bit. I mean, I conceptually, yeah, it's possible. He'll be 57 by that time. And then 67% say indefinitely. The thing about indefinitely is it could be more than 7 years, but then it can also be another 20 years. So we just don't know. I think for Umar, it's just he has, what else is he going to do? That's the real question. What else could Umar do? He can't go work in the school system. His reputation precedes him. He was a troublemaker in the Philadelphia school system when he worked there. He's all over the internet talking crazy, talking reckless. His behavior is outlandish, sniffing and blinking. So what is he going to do? See, I think Umar's put himself in such a box to where he can't even see himself doing anything different. He's been doing it for such a long time, and it's free money. I don't even think he cares to make any changes. And he's 50 and he's used to it. There are times where in life we have to say, okay, I got to do something different. This isn't working. And then we take steps. I mean, this is what I've done. You take steps and you move your life in a different direction, and you do what you need to do in order to move in a more appropriate direction. And then things change for the better. That's precisely what's happened for me. But I think for Umar, he's so used to people. Really, I think it is that he's so used to people believing in him, and he thinks that they're going to believe in him indefinitely. But the truth is that fewer and fewer people believe in Umar. Fewer and fewer people support Umar. Now, there's people who follow him on social media because he's a social media influencer and they like the entertainment value. But I'm talking about the people who, remember the people who used to defend him, people like Tiff DeGriff, where'd they go? People sending him crazy amounts of money. Where'd those people go? See? They're not around like they're used to. I can pull up the video to show you when he was showing tours of these abandoned buildings back in 2019. People were coming out, supporting him and donate. They was cheering and all this stuff. Those people aren't around anymore. So what I'm getting at is indefinitely. There has to be an end to this at some point. And what I think is the 225. I think at some point, Umar, he's just going to step into the shadows. He may sell the buildings, take the money, maybe move to Africa, and or just disappear and just live off the money for a couple of years, and then maybe he'll come up with another scam. He's had so many of them. The Shockumentary, the Rules of Romance book, the list goes on and on and on. See, he was talking about how he was going to do these college tours after the first one that he did, collecting money for that, never had anymore. He's a scam artist. He's always been. No, I ain't gonna say he's always been. I think he's always been troubled. But I can say for sure that by 2005, Umar was a bona fide scam artist. Okay? And now here we are 20 years later, he's still doing the same thing. Thanks to the 225 for being a member. And we did a members live stream too last week. Okay, so anyone's interested, you can become a member. There's a join button there. And we'll end up doing one this week too, probably tomorrow. Night J says he is going to disappear into the bushes of God. Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. I have a sense that he's already made inroads in Ghana and has something set up. It's just that if he moves to Ghana, the thing too, but Umar, even though he has tax exempt status, I don't know how this would work, but someone was telling me how you have to pay on any personal income, you have to pay taxes in both countries. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not. But the thing that I think about is that if that is true, that's going to cut into the money that he's collecting. But the other thing is that the conversion rate, if he moves over there and he's trying to get money out of people over there, the conversion rate is like, it doesn't even make sense. If he's, I don't even know what their currency is called over there, but if he's collecting currency over there, the conversion rate to over here is like, I'm sure it's pennies on the dollar. So the idea of using that to open up a school in the United States of America, that's just not going to happen. By that point, he'd have to be spinning a tale about how he's going to open up a school in Ghana, which he said it too in the past, but he would have to really push that. Yeah, I think it's more likely that Umar would get as much money as he can, sell the buildings, take that money, and just disappear, at least for a while until that money runs out, and then the cycle starts all over again. So that's what Jay Morrison, he attempted to do. He tried to come back on the spirit, the religious type of thing, the Christianity. He tried to come back as a so-called Christian, but that didn't work. It didn't work, and he ended up disappearing again. He's taken all of his social media down. Someone said he's being investigated again, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with Umar. Okay, it's only a matter of time. Again, he's 50. Okay, he can't do this forever indefinitely. People say 66%. The thing is, indefinitely could mean anything. I think the reason why indefinitely is relevant is because no one really knows, and I don't even think Umar knows. So in that sense, yeah, I can see 66%. We don't know, right? Yeah, Umar doesn't even know. Thanks, Nigel. I'm gonna say something else. I don't even think that Umar. I don't think he anticipated, and I could be wrong. But I don't even think Umar anticipated that this would go on this long. He's just so far deep into it, and he's so used to that free money. In 2010, when he posted the school was going to open in September 11, 2013, I don't think he had an idea that this would be 15 years later and the school still not open. I don't think so. See, so who knows? Who knows how much longer this will go on? See, I don't think he ever conceptualized this. I'll be able to pull this shit off for 2010, 15 years. If you want to start there, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible. Thanks for being a member. Night J. What's power, Lenon? What's going on in the Umar Johnson cinematic universe? Well, there's a couple of things. One thing is that I've noticed is that he's not up there like he used to be during this time each year, and I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea. The title of this is that for this particular live stream is dealing with the notion and the idea that Umar he knows that FDMG is over, but I think he's known for quite some time. I think that for Umar, even going up there, it's more of a chore than anything else. It's not that he goes up there and he feels good about being up there. It's more like, I need to do this in order for people to be inspired to send me money, and that's it. If we go back to those earlier 2019, 2020 videos of Umar, you can see he had a little bit of, I don't know what the word is, spunk. You could tell but now he go up there be looking like a pookie, all somber. But that's because at this point, it's more of a job for him than anything else. And see, the job is to ask for money, not to open up a school or to be in service to the community or to be a principal as a job. Not that, but basically to ask for money. And because the money's it's dwindled and dwindled and dwindled, I think it becomes more and more difficult for Umar to go up there and have the same level of enthusiasm that he once had. See? Thanks, SOB, for the super chat. Hope you're doing all right. Master Khalik says he's going to keep this up until people wake up. Yeah, but so many people, there's a lot of people that's already woken up. In fact, there's people in the chat room. Every once in a while, we'll see people inside the chat room and they'll say, yeah, I used to support Umar. I sent them $20 in 2014. Some of you guys watching right now, you used to be a supporter of Umar. So I think that people have been waking up. Maybe what needs to happen is critical mass. At some point, it hits critical mass where enough people wake up to the fact that he's nothing more than a con man and a charlatan, to where it becomes virtually impossible for him to sustain his lifestyle. And I already think it kind of is already, that it becomes virtually impossible for him to sustain his lifestyle as it is today. And I think that would be the critical point for Umar when it hits that critical mass. But actually, see, I actually think that Umar's already at that point on some level where the amount of money that's coming in is not what it used to be, and he's not able to maintain his lifestyle as he once had. Remember back in the day, Umar would dress nice, he'd have his hair cut nice, he would be, it was totally different than what he's become today. And more and more people wake up, and as more and more people wake up to the truth that he's just nothing more than a con man, the less and less money is going to come in. Okay, he can get on the Breakfast Club, he can get on Art of Dialogue, these types of platforms, whatever the other one, I can't remember his name right now. Platforms, it'll bring in some money, but it's never going to be like it used to. Just like Master Khalik, the same thing with Jay Morrison. Jay Morrison will never get the type of money that he got with the TREF, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and he ran that into the ground, and he benefited off of it. He at the end of the day, he came up on a whole house. Okay, I think it's $1 million home in Atlanta, if memory serves me correctly. I can pull up the receipts and show you all this. And then land, acres of land with other people's money, and then he was living off of it and living like a bling bling lifestyle for around the TREF, and that's other people's money. He didn't have no job. He's a 3-time felon. See how similar is with Umar? But he'll never get that type of money again. But Umar will never get the type of money that he was getting back in 2014, 2015, 2016, when he had a GoFundMe, when he had the PayPal running, and then he also had the CashApp for many, many years. Okay, if he still has a PO box, he's never going to get the type of money that he got in the past, because more and more people are waking up. Okay, let me show you all something too, because I just ran into this video. Then we're going to get into the video for today. Thank you all so much. Everyone started to click chat. We're at 307 likes. We're going to try to get to 500 before we close out this live stream. We got about 916 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you all in the Cook Your Crush chat, undefeated. If you haven't hit the poll question, go on and get your vote in. The question is, how much longer will Umar Johnson hang on to the FDMG school scam? 16% say 2 more years, 10% say 5 more years, 8% said 7 more years, and 66% say indefinitely. Okay? And thank you so much, Master Khalik, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And everyone else too. Thank you guys so much. Let me show you guys a video from 2019. This is from February 19th, 2019. And give me 1 second.
Just with Memphis, Tennessee, I'ma see you Saturday. Bring them donations with you. Memphis, Tennessee, I'ma see you Saturday.
Damn, he had his head on the swivel back in y'all see this Cook Crush chat? He was shook back in February 2019. This is about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks after he acquired his abandoned building. It's crazy.
Bring them donations with you. This is the Prince of Pan Africanism.
See, he needed money. This is Umar in withdrawal mode. I mean, this is Umar in withdrawal mode. What happened was, let's be clear about this in the timeline. Umar had raised, by 2019, Umar had raised, I think the figure, what was the figure? I think the figure was $1.2 million. No, because he had already raised $1 million by the end of 2016. So $1 million, I think it's 1.4. He should have been around $1.4 million by that time. Matter of fact, let me pull it up inside my notes. That way I can give you guys the a more accurate representation of what I'm attempting to explain here. Let's see. First of all, no. Here it is. FDMG timeline, donation timeline. Okay, so, and I've shown this. I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but from 2014 to 2016, he was already at $1 million. I have him on record saying that he collects $125,000 in around this 2017, 2000. He collects about $125,000 a year, so that's going to be $250,000. So from 2014 to 2018, Umar should have been sitting on $1.25 million, $1,250,000. The school purchase the following year was for $400,000. Umar should have had about $850,000 left over, and that's it. Let me put that figure inside. You guys don't mind. $850,000 left over in 2019. This is after he purchased these abandoned buildings for allegedly $400,000. So what happens is that this, where is it? Here it is. This $850,000, that money was gone by the time, or at least most of it is gone. The vast majority of it is gone. That he should have still had. That's gone by the time we get to February of 2019. And if you think about it, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, we're talking about 5 years. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the calculator. I'm going to take $850,000. I'm going to divide that by 5. We're talking about $170,000 a year. That Umar is, he's wasting. Again, he's traveling all over the world. He's gambling. He has a substance abuse issue. He's living in and out of hotel, motel rooms. He's renting cars. Did I say he's traveling all over the world? That's really expensive. He likes to eat. Okay, he eats a lot. Okay, $170,000 a year. So what I'm getting at is that by the time we get to the video that we're watching here, February of 19th of 2019, Umar, he's in desperation mode because he's already spent the vast amount of the money that he had left over, which had to be in and around $400,000. It could have been less than that, depending on what the actual purchase price is. I give him the benefit of the doubt of $400,000 based upon online receipts. Umar's never provided any accounting for this. He's never had any transparency on how much he actually purchased these abandoned buildings for. Over 6 years, he's never stated how much he purchased these abandoned buildings for. Think about that for a moment. But he should have been sitting on about $850,000 after acquiring these abandoned buildings. But that money is not there. So Umar goes into withdrawal mode. See, think about it. This same year, he gets evicted and he's unable to resolve the eviction. And he becomes homeless. Why? Why would you become homeless? He should have been sitting on $850,000. Where'd the money go? This is what I'm saying, Umar Johnson. Just think critically about this. Why would Umar go homeless? Why would he end up being homeless? He was at that residence for at least a year because he had gotten at least it was almost a decade. He had gotten another eviction from that same residence back in 2010, but he was able to resolve it and was able to stay. But this time around, he was unable to resolve it. So he gets evicted in 2019, and then you see him inside of hotel motel rooms over and over again. He's in a state of, and then at a certain point, I think it's by 2020. I think it's by 2020. It might be 2021. I keep forgetting what, because I got to memorize that. You see him staying inside his mama's closet, live streaming out of his mama's closet. So where did all this money go? That's what I'm saying. By the time, and it's still in February, Umar, he had to put all that money down to acquire these abandoned buildings. He doesn't have the money left over that he needs in order to continue his self-destructive lifestyle with the substance abuse. So that's why you see him in this mode. I can tell this is Umar. He's in desperation mode, and he's having withdrawal symptoms. He's looking disheveled. Why would you look disheveled like this a couple of weeks after acquiring these abandoned buildings? Look.
Live at the Fred Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, your academy, our academy. Get them donations with you. Memphis, Tennessee, I'm going to see you Saturday. Bring them donations with you. This is the Prince of Pan Africanism.
He needs the donations, and he's up there to use the school as a prop to get donations, just like he still does to this day. This is 2019. Now we're in 2025.
I'm live at the Fred Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, your academy, our academy. Get the donations in. It's not a game. It's now or never, family. It's now or never. We want to open up the school August of 2020. What we going to do? What we going to do?
Yeah, the rental car. You see the rental car? August of 2020 is supposed to open. Yeah, it's crazy. Yoshimitsu, it's crazy.
And then right here, we're going to turn this into a community center. This is going to be a community center right here. That's going to be the community center. You understand? Nat Turner, Jean-Jacques Dessalines Community Center. And then the fourth building down the street, I think we're going to turn that into...
See, he's coming up with this shit on the spot. There is no fourth building. There's 3 buildings out there. Virgo said, I'll stay in Wilmington. I got to see what's going on over there. It ain't nothing going on up there. Yeah, he been saying the same thing. It's crazy. This right after he purchased a week and a half after he purchased the abandoned building, he's saying the same thing. But now we're in 2025, he's saying the same thing. 2019, 2020. What's up, Dr. Sebi? Junior. Same thing. Ain't nothing changed.
The Unapologetically African Conscious Cafe and Sports Bar. Unapologetically African Conscious Cafe and Sports Bar. No, we won't be selling alcohol. It'll be all non-alcoholic drinks at the Unapologetically African Cafe and Sports Bar. You feel me? Where you could come get some wholesome food, get some Pan-African books, because we only selling Pan-African books.
By the way, he couldn't even get into that building back then. What he calls a building. It's just a storage unit. It's not even storage. I shouldn't call it that. What's the best way? Anyone that was around back then, I could pull up the video when they first got in there. He had a white locksmith to open up the door because he had a key. What would you call that area? It's like a storage, because they stored, the Moyer Academy stored paint, old paint in there. That's what he said. He said a non-alcoholic, I was going to see him record, a non-alcoholic sports bar. It's supposed to be 3 levels too, 3 stories. Well, shout out the information, man. Yeah, it's like a shed. That's what it is. It's like a storage shed. That's what it is. So he's going to convert this storage shed into a black vegan sports bar, non-alcoholic, as he calls it. He's just making up shit. Basically, his last call. Basically, it's a dungeon. I should go find. Excuse me. I should go find it and show y'all. That was crazy. I was going to Asia. It's like a utility shed. All right. So, yeah, you're right. He is pure comedy. Yeah, he is. He's funny. All right, here we go.
If it ain't Pan-African, we don't want it. We're not interested in that other shit. It's only Pan-African around here. RBG all day. So get them donations in, family. All right? We not playing. Get the donations in. I just picked up 40 pieces of donation mail today. 40 pieces of donation mail today. Thank you to all.
He needs that money bad. All right. For no good reason. All right, let me just play this and then we get to the video for today, because I want to make sure I get back to this. Here we go.
Gamble, but we need about $1.5 million for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey the day. I don't gamble, but day. West Coast Ifa Tunde. I'm feeling good today. I don't gamble, but we need about $1.5 million for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy renovation. We need about...
Yeah, I have him on a record where he says he needs $1 million to renovate. Okay, now he's saying $1.5 million. See this?
$1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $2 million overall. So we're gonna play and we're gonna hit today.
$2 million.
We're gonna play and we're gonna hit.
Now he said $2 million overall. Then, but see, y'all hit the one. You see what he's doing? He don't know how much renovation. But the thing is, I have him on record where he said it's going to cost $1 million to renovate. I believe it was in the February 2019 school announcement video, if memory serves me correctly. I can pull it up in my notes right now. Let me go see. Yeah. It's in the videos that's titled "You Can't Handle the Truth" with Dr. Umar Johnson from 2016. This is because I think he said in 2014 too, but 2016, it's $1 million in renovations. Y'all want me to pull it up? That way we can cross-reference. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Good course, hold on. Let's go show you this guy. He'll throw out figures. It's just about money. Okay, it's not about him having a plan. I highly doubt that Umar ever had these buildings inspected, by a general contractor to get an itemized list in terms of what renovation work needs to be done. I highly doubt that he actually did that. So he's just coming up. Yeah, here it is right here. Because I remember this lady right here. And he does it at the beginning. Watch this. Here you go.
Family.
Come on, thing. This thing is.
Hi, this is Ayana Turner, live from iPush Magazine. We are with the incomparable Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm so overwhelmed right now. It's
Man, she pretty.
So honored to meet you, brother. I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. Now, I want to talk to you about the school that you are.
She look like she can make some butter biscuits too, don't she? You meant a culture. Don't she look like she? Let me just stop.
Doing it for the kids now. Where are you in that process right now? And I did see that you want to get St. Paul's College, which is an HBCU. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure.
See, this is 2 years after he started raising money for the St. Paul's, and he was still, I guess, at this time he was still raising money for St. Paul's, even though it was sold allegedly. Where's Black and Arms at? You see this foolishness? Yeah, Jonathan Kidd, she look like she can make some buttermilk biscuits. Some butter biscuits, family. Umar got on his Millersville University sweater. Can you believe this guy? Here we go.
The program, the agenda to try to acquire.
Yeah, Asia, ain't nothing wrong with butter biscuits now. It's just Tariq Nasheed gave him a bad name because he was talking about Tommy Stoudemire, how he did butter biscuits, and he made a video game called the Tommy was running around on the video game trying to get butter biscuits and lotion. That was a big old mess. The most of y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. That was such a big mess. Anyway, U225 says Umar Johnson digging up 1,000 ways to free. I can't even put that on there. He's a 225. He's like, yeah. Thanks for super chat. You crazy. Okay, let's keep going here. Did he say grits? Was it grits in there too? I thought it was butter biscuits and lotion. All right, here we go.
Post college for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus.
No, it wasn't no base.
He's almost 2 years old. I found out.
I'm sorry. Let me quit talking.
See that you want to get St. Paul's College, which is an HBCU. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. The program, the agenda to try to acquire the St. Paul's College for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus.
Oh, so he was trying to still acquire it. Do I have it in my notes? Yeah, no, I don't even have it in my notes. He was still trying to acquire it 2 years later. Here we go.
Academy is almost 2 years old. I found out that the college was for sale by accident through a friend of mine. a couple of years ago, and so I went to the college, visited the college.
Oh, this is renovations for the St. Paul's then. Yeah. Umar saying that renovations for St. Paul's was $1 million in this video. But that's a whole college campus. But he's saying that it's a million, what did he say, a 1.5 million for FDMG in Wilmington, Delaware for 3 buildings. This guy, he's such a scammer. Anyone, y'all follow me on that? Hit the one.
Met with the president, met with the auction company, and since that time we've been trying to raise the $2 million. Originally we wanted $4 million because that would give us the school and the money to rehabilitate and the money to fund the school for the first couple of years. Wow. But once we learned that other people were interested in buying the school, including the federal government, we decided to reduce the $4 million goal to $2 million, which would just give us enough money to acquire. But of course, we would still need to do another fundraiser to come up with the additional operating expenses. So St. Paul is still my goal. It's still available, but it's not the be all and end all. I'm beginning to look at other opportunities. The longer the school sits, the less feasible it's going to become, because the more damage through weather and lack of maintenance is going to accumulate. And we already know that it's going to cost $1 million to get the school functional. So if we wait another year, that price might jump to 3 or 4 million.
Yeah, he's
so I have to be realistic.
Wow, this guy, he's talking about St. Paul.
Of the founder of St. Paul's, Father Russell, I'm looking at other places, including Africa and the Caribbean.
That is amazing. Now, what would be the criteria for the students to get into the school?
To be Black. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah, to be Black. All of the children who are selected will be selected by raffle, because we won't have enough seats for everyone. So anyone who wants to come, it'll be a simple public raffle. Anyone can be there as we pull the names. Some people say that the school should only be for disadvantaged Black boys. Well, I would argue that every Black boy is disadvantaged.
Right.
I cannot discriminate against.
Yeah, there's so much in here too, by the way. Real quick, because I was pulling up this other receipt I want to show y'all, to show where he says he needs $1 million to renovate FDMG in Wilmington, Delaware. But let me just go back. This is fascinating hearing this now.
It's still available, but it's not the be all and end all. I'm beginning to look at other opportunities. The longer the school sits, the less feasible it's going to become, because the more damage through weather and lack of maintenance.
Yeah, but see, he's been sitting on these abandoned buildings in Wilmington now for over 6 years. Can you believe this guy?
Is going to accumulate, and we already know that it's going to cost $1 million to get the school functional. So if we wait another year, that price might jump to 3 or 4 million. So I have to be realistic. As much as I want to continue the legacy of the founder of St. Paul's, Father Russell, I'm looking at other places, including Africa and the Caribbean.
That is amazing. Now, what would be the criteria for the student?
She ain't got no ring on. You Black men, y'all tripping. Y'all better get it together. You ain't got no excuse. Yeah, I'm gay. No, you ain't got no excuse. That's the You ain't got if you ain't married, so you ain't got a woman already, you ain't got no excuse. Let me stop.
Is to get into the school.
To be Black. That's it. Yeah, to be Black. All of the children who are selected will be selected by raffle.
Raffle? What in the world? What does that mean, Cookie Crush Jack? How they gonna be selected by raffle? And their parents gotta pay $500 a month? What is this? This is an NBA lottery? This is crazy. Somebody said FDMG bingo. This guy, he's nuts.
Because we won't have enough seats for everyone, so anyone who wants to come,
he's such a bullshitter.
It'll be a simple public raffle. Anyone can be there as we pull the names.
Yeah,
it's
a lottery.
Say that the school should only be for disadvantaged Black boys. Well, I would argue that every Black boy is disadvantaged.
Right.
I cannot discriminate against Black boys whose parents are economically comfortable because they say
100% real, man. Shout out to 100% real, man. Let's get going here. He just said brand new state-of-the-art buildings that need $2 million in renovations. Exactly. It don't even make sense what he's saying. Remember, he was on a Lord Jamar show and he was wilding out, acting crazy, talking about these buildings are state-of-the-art. This building is state-of-the-art, family. He was going crazy. But he needs $1 million, $1 million. Then he said $1.5 million. Then he said $2 million for the St. Paul's. How they stay in the art? It don't even make no sense. This guy, but see, that's why with Umar, if you know the history and you know the timeline, you'll realize very quickly that he's a charlatan. A raffle and $2 million for renovations for a state of the art. That don't even make sense if they're state of the art. Umar was saying that these trap banners in Wilmington were state of the art. You remember that? And I can pull up videos where he's walking through there in 2019. It looks like a bomb was dropped off. There's a massive hole in the roof. You can see Jesus coming down from heaven. I kid you not. Jesus looked down and said, "No, I'll be back. I'll be back next month. I can't." Yeah. See? But Umar, he sells it. He has to sell it as this great. He always oversells things. See, that's the one thing about Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed said that about Umar. He said that Tariq said that Umar was overselling, and he was overselling, and that's precisely what Umar did. So how is it state of the art, but it needs $2 million in renovations? Real talk. How is it state of the art and it needs $1 million in renovation or $1.5 million in renovation? It can't be state of the art. Right? But Umar, he sold it as such. And here we are 6 years later. If it was state of the art, then wouldn't you all think that after over 6 years, Umar would have opened up school already? He already changed the date to 2000, grand opening for the actual school to start open with the kids enrolled. He changed that to 2026. So based upon that, we can now say 2019 to 2026 is 7 years projected. It's going to be at least, we'll say it that way, at least 7 years for the school to actually open. Why does it take 7 years to school stay the art? See? No, he lied about that. That's the bottom line. But that's what he do. Thanks, Agent, for super chat. Umar Johnson talking soft in his low. He is, and you know, we're gonna make sure we're gonna have a raffle, and after that we're gonna have all black kids. You can't even do that. That's illegal. But we're gonna have all black kids. We're gonna have all black. They're gonna be coming to the school. Yeah, and we need about $2 more million. We need about $2 million. That's Umar. But see, that's when I can tell when Umar, he switches into that mode. He's trying to be kind of smooth about it too. See, he's trying to let me stop. All right. This is Umar Johnson type, but he got to settle for, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You shoot survive. Okay. Umar did not, okay, real quick, I'm going to put it back up. Umar did not like Tiff the Griff. Okay. Some of y'all don't even know who I'm talking about. But Umar did not like her. He didn't like her. He didn't like her. He was scared of her. He was scared. But because she used to send him money when he would have these live streams back in the day, she would send him money, crazy amounts of money too. And then she would always defend him. She don't do it now, but she'd defend him and attack people that would criticize Umar. She would attack him online, attack people online. He tolerated her, but he tolerated her because he knew that she was a quote unquote, at least at that time, a ride, what we would call a ride or die. And that she would always defend Umar and that she would always send him money. But the truth of the matter is he never liked her. He didn't like her. He didn't like her. He didn't trust her. And he was scared of her. See, a lot of people don't know, before Tiff the Griff, there was Big Ann. Her name was Ann McMillan. See, now we're going way back into the history. She ain't around anymore. Okay? And Tiff the Griff always wants to be the center of attention. That's why when what's her name, the other one, Sharon, when Sharon was trying to it was at the birthday party, Umar's birthday party, was trying to talk. Here comes Tiff the Griff. She got to have a last word in, jumping all into the camera. Look at me. Anyway, he never liked her. He didn't trust her, but he tolerated her because she used to defend him vehemently, and then she would send him money all the time. See? But that's how Umar is. Okay. Use the 225. You take it. Thanks for super chat, but you take it. Said that Umar taking 1,000 ways of free call. You tripping? I mean, it's funny, but come on. Y'all don't last call. Don't do her like that. Now, real quick, I found the other receipt. So let me get this video off here. We got to backtrack, get all caught up on this. But so we were talking about the video where Umar did. What was the figure? Kukra said, he said, how much was renovations going to take how much was it going to take to renovate FDMG? Talk about in Wilmington, Delaware. Okay, I think it was this video.
Let me show you what we're about to do.
I'm sorry. Did I take the video?
We about to get us some money.
Wait, I think it's no, it's not this one, because that was, which video was it? I can't. I already took the video down. I didn't mean to do that. Because it was the one. Yeah, but I thought he said 1.5 million for everything, right? And I took that. I didn't mean to take that video down. Let me see if this is it. Hold on. No, this ain't. I mean, that's not. This is the one though where he says it's going to be $1 million to complete renovations. Let me go to 6 minute and 50 second mark. 16 minutes and 50 seconds. And this is specifically for Wilmington, because this is in September. The other video I was looking at, that was from February of 2000. I can find it real quick. February of 2019. That's this one right here. So let me play these two back to back. Memphis. Watch this.
With you, Memphis, Tennessee. I'ma see you Saturday. Bring them donations with you. This is the Prince of Pan Africanism live at the Fred Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Your academy, our academy. Get the donations in. It's not a game. It's now or never, family. It's now or never. We want to open up the school August of 2020. What we gonna do? What we gonna do?
That's nuts. August 2025 is right around the corner.
And then right here, we're going to turn this into a community center. This is going to be a community center right here. That's going to be the community center. You understand? Nat Turner, Jean-Jacques Dessalines Community Center. And then the fourth building down the street, I think we're going to turn that into the Unapologetically African Conscious Cafe and Sports Bar. Unapologetically African Conscious Cafe and Sports Bar. No, we won't be selling alcohol. It'll be all non-alcoholic.
It's so nuts.
Drinks at the Unapologetically African Cafe and Sports Bar. You feel me? Where you could come get some wholesome food, get some Pan-African books, because we only selling Pan-African books. If it ain't Pan-African, we don't want it. We're not interested in that other shit. It's only Pan-African around here. RBG all day. So get them donations in, family. All right? We not playing. Get the donations in. I just picked up 40 pieces of donation mail today. 40 pieces of donation mail today. Thank you to all.
Okay, I'm sorry. I done lost what the video was. It was a video where he was. Oh, it was. I think it was the gambling video where he said that. Watch.
For the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. We need $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $2 million overall.
Okay, so it's actually, he's saying $2 million overall. Okay, so $2 million. Wow, this is nuts. $2 million overall. Why would you purchase abandoned buildings for $400,000 and then you need $2 million overall renovation? And then for the Garvey building, what did he say?
I'm feeling good today. I don't gamble, but we need about $1.5 million for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
Okay, so $1 million. Wait a minute. This is nuts.
Academy renovation. We need about $1.5 million for the Garvey building.
Just for the Garvey building. So 1.5 million for the Garvey building. All right. Let me leave this up here. $2 million overall, 1.5 million for the Garvey building.
We need $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $2 million overall. So we're going to play and we're going to hit today.
Okay, and this video is from 2021. Now, let me play this for y'all. This is from 2019. 16 minute and 50 second mark.
And if you control his thinking, you don't even have to tell him to go to the back door. he will go on his own. And when he gets to the back, if there is no door, he won't make one and walk out of it. I'm not trying to save every Negro in America.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
Everybody didn't make it on Noah's Ark.
I'm focusing on the babies.
What? Everyone didn't make it on Noah's Ark? What you talking about? These men's a bunch of goofies? What you talking about?
That's why we purchased those 2 schools in Wilmington, Delaware, February the 7th of this year. Frederick Douglass building, Marcus Garvey building, and God willing, we're going to raise this $1 million so that we can restore that campus. We have 4 buildings in total.
See what I'm saying? What did he just say? He said $1 million. Now, but in the other video, he said it's $2 million for everything. Hit the one. That's what I'm saying. When you really start to, because that's how you know he's a scam artist. Just like when he initially said we need to raise $1 million, then he bumped up to $2 million, then he bumped up to $4 million. I have the receipts on that too. I can show it to y'all. That was on his Facebook page. Well, that's what he's doing here. Everyone, y'all catch this? I wanted to make sure that that's clear. Then we're gonna get to the video for today. I'm sorry, we hour and 30 minutes in. So shout out to Jonathan again. What Umar is doing, which he's done consistently over the years anyway, is he says $1 million. He starts this. He'll give a figure. And then he starts this process over time of exaggerating how much, and I've said this in the past, exaggerating how much things are going to cost, and then underestimating how much money he's actually received and understating how much money he's received. So that's where you get this gap where you start seeing money that's missing in all of this. See, so the expenses, he's always exaggerating shit over time, and it'll grow. He'll say $1 million, then he'll say $750,000, then he says $1 million, then he says $1.5 million, then he says it's $2 million. It just keeps going up how much money he needs, right? But then the amount of money that he's collected, he hasn't given an update since 2020. He said $850,000. But I have him in 2016 saying that he had raised, at the end of 2016, he had already raised $1 million. So he understates how much money he's actually collected. I mean, if you think about it, it's very crafty. It's not rocket science. But if people don't know the history, they don't know the timeline, and they can't in their mind, wait a minute, I remember he said this back then. They won't see that gap. They won't see how huge of a gap. And there's over $1 million that's missing at this point. But see, that's how Umar, he wanted it to be that way in the first place. And he'll continue to do that. He'll continue to understate how, and he hasn't even updated people on how much money he's raising. It's been almost 5 years. But the point is that he will not give updates, and even not updating people. It's a form, it's lack of transparency, but that is to continue to understate and underestimate how much money he's collected. Because he does, and in this case, he's not even stating it anymore. You can't get any much more egregious than that. Well, you're not even telling people. But then the amount of money that he needs continues to grow. And this is just to get renovations completed. Where he said renovations were done in 2023. And he's still doing renovations in 2025. And what happens when he, quote unquote, opens up these abandoned buildings? How's he going to pay these faculty and staff, the teachers? How's he going to pay, everything that goes in? Bus drivers, we've gone over this many, many times. How's he going to do that? Well, what he'll do is he'll start overstating how much money he needs, and then understating how much money he's collected. And that's the scam. That's the crux of it. See? But he said $1 million for 4 buildings. But in the other video, he said that it was $2 million, right? Let me let this play just in case, just because I don't want to just take a segment and maybe he says something different to make this make sense, because people have done that with me. They'll take a clip of something that I said, but they don't give context and don't say it. They just make up a whole false narrative about it. I'm going to have some grace here, and I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to let this play. Watch this.
We got to pick and choose which ones we want to waste our time with, because trying to save psychologically damaged Africans can be a very dangerous thing. Can be a very dangerous thing because they see you as the enemy.
Right.
You see, so we got to pick and choose who's going, and I really only think about 30, 40 to 50% of us are even worth saving. Frederick Douglass, my ancestor, said what? It is better to raise strong children than to repair broken men. And he wasn't a psychologist, but he knew that. Carter G. Woodson said what? If you control a man's mind, you don't have to worry about his thinking, okay? And if you control his thinking, you don't even have to tell him to go to the back door. He will go on his own. And when he gets to the back, if there is no door, he won't make one and walk out of it.
Quit yelling.
I'm not trying to save every Negro in America.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
Everybody didn't make it on Noah's Ark.
I'm focusing on the babies. That's why we purchased those 2 schools in Wilmington, Delaware, February the 7th of this year. Frederick Douglass Building, Marcus Garvey Building, and God willing, we're going to raise this $1 million so that we can restore that campus. We have 4 buildings in total.
See, he said $1 million, but the other way he said $2 million. Let's see, maybe he says $2 million.
With 2 schools. We were blessed enough to purchase with the monies raised from the people. And it is my hope that we raise $1 million between now and next summer, because I want to open up the school on Nat Turner Day, August the 21st, the date of the Nat Turner Revolution, 2020. 100-year celebration of the red, black, and green flag. That's when I want to start school.
You know,
man, no, that's the figure he gave. And just to prove my point one more time, we're going to go to a video from 2019, December 31st. And this is actually a really good video for people to really get the history with Umar to watch. But let me go to the 26-minute and roughly 20-second mark. And then we got to get going here. I'm going to ram my mouth. Here we go.
Tell me about you, because you're the one who went out and spent all your money on Christmas gifts last week. Don't tell me about the white man. Tell me about you. $2 million on Air Jordans every year. $4 million on liquor every year. Black women, $20 million on weave and perm every year. Black men, $3 million on Timberlands every year. And we want to go cry and talk about how the white woman is miseducating black kids. Yeah, it's true.
That's all you do.
I work in the schools. White women can't stand our damn kids. But yeah.
Listen, Umar was not working at no school in 2019. This guy, he's such a liar.
Guess what? Neither can you. While I'm talking to the parents, I'm going to give y'all some rules that y'all can use in the schools. A new year coming up. But before I do, I want to first say thank you. I want to say thank you to Detroit. I want to say thank you to Flint, Kalamazoo, Big Rapids, Grand Rapids, Muskegon, all throughout the state. And why do I want to say thank you? Because 5 years ago, we started raising money to purchase a school. And we finally purchased that school in February of this year. And we don't have 1 school. We got 2 schools in Wilmington, Delaware. So thank you, Black Michigan. Thank you, Black Michigan. We got 2 schools in Wilmington, Delaware, 4 buildings all together. We have an Honorable Marcus Garvey building and an Honorable Frederick Douglass building. And right now we're raising money to try to renovate the Garvey building first, because it's the smaller. It takes us $1 million to do the whole thing. I'm not asking.
See? Hit the one. Damn, Umar.
For no money tonight. I didn't come here for that. I'm just.
No, he's just asking for money. What you talking about?
Giving you an update on where we are. $1 million for the whole campus, $350 for the Garvey building.
What? See this? Told y'all. Well, let's get going here. I mean, yeah, got him every single time. I have more examples of it too. I can pull up because I saw some more, but let's keep going. We got to keep going. Otherwise, we're gonna be here for a month. I started late anyway. Let me do one other thing though, because I'm interested in seeing what I have here in my notes. There's so much stuff. We're gonna go to August 2nd of 2023. I'm just curious to see why I wrote this or something. I just happen to see it while I'm looking through this. Because I have it. Listen, I can pull up renovation. I can pull up donations. I can pull up, I have keywords. And so when I pulled up renovations, there's something else I put here. I'm not quite sure what I'm referencing here, but I'm interested to see. Let's see. 8.2. Here it is right here. 8.2. Oh, well, there's 2 of these videos. So I don't want to, actually there's 3 of them and I don't know which one it is. Let me see. Oh, it's the first video. Okay, let me see if I have it archived properly. Yeah, I don't know which one this would be, but let me just see if I can find it real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up.
Come on in, family. Come on in. Come on in, family. Come on in. Come on in.
Yeah, see, this is Umar right here. Poor guy. It's just to see him deteriorate like this. I can really tell in his eyes. See, it's like glazed over. Yeah, this is from 2023. Let's go to the 21-minute mark. Let me see what happens here, because I want to see what I was referencing inside my notes. I'm just curious.
From LeBron James.
Oh, yeah, this video is crazy.
Moving on from LeBron James, I want to go to Illinois one time. Where my Chicago Africans at? Shout out to all my Chicago Africans who came out to support Dr. Umar at the Bantu Festival the day before yesterday. Where are my Chicago Africans at? Chicago Queens was out there looking fine. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Here we go.
Lord have mercy. And shout out to my Miami Queens. Well, my Miami Queens who came out to show Dr. Umar support in Miami Gardens 3 days ago. Miami Queens was looking scrumpy.
Yeah, that's not the one. Let me try this other one. We're going to go to the 2135.
I got you.
So it's like,
yeah. When you get a minute, make sure you text my phone again. I want to make sure I got you locked in on my side.
yeah, because I also want you, because you always focus in West Africa,
Yes.
which is good.
But we got to do the whole concept.
Exactly, because
well, I want to come to.
so I'm gonna pay my rent today. I'm gonna dip because if we study,
Yeah, this isn't the right one.
Here,
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I was just trying to see what was the correlation to my notes here. Let me just try one other thing. I'm gonna I promise. Let me see if I can pull it up this way. Yes, yeah, there's 4 videos, and I don't want to go sift through all of them. Talk to the problems. It's got to be one of these two.
Peace in Pan Africanism. Peace in Pan Africanism. You being the chosen.
Yeah, I think it's this one. 21. Yeah.
We've been working on renovations in Delaware. This entire time we've been working on renovations in Delaware, those white women at the LeBron School in Ohio couldn't get our children to pass.
We got about 971 people in the building. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to get to the video now. After I get to this. If you haven't hit the like button, you're enjoying the show, go on and hit it. We're trying to get to 500. That's our goal. And there is a poll question. If you haven't voted, go and get your poll question in. Thank everyone who the Cook Chats Undefeated. Thank everyone who sent in super chats. Also have CashApp and PayPal links listed in the description of this video. Let's go.
Pass a basic math test. I'll take the struggle renovations any day over 3 years of failed math scores. I will take FDMG struggle renovation.
Yeah, Umar, he's serious, having serious withdrawals right here. You can tell. I mean, I can tell. Yeah, it's sad.
Any day of the week over the fact that nobody in LeBron's school is passing the damn 8th grade math test. There we go. Send me my apologies, you Negroes.
See him with the hand and all this stuff, shaking and all this.
I will take struggle reservations at FDMG over 3 years of not one single 8th grader passing the math test at the LeBron James School. You can fool all the people some of the time, and you can fool some of the people all the time. You can fool all the people some of the time, and you can fool some of the people all the time, but you can't fool the Prince of Pan Africanism any of the time. You can't fool the Prince of Pan Africanism any of the time. You can't fool the Prince of Pan. I got another question for the I Promise Academy. Brothers and sisters. Can I ask?
See him sniffing? See that? Did y'all see it?
Any of the time. You can't fool the Prince of Pan. I got another question for the I Promise Academy. Brothers and sisters. Can I ask another question? We talking about the LeBron James Promise Academy at the Dr. Umar FDMG Academy. We're talking about the LeBron James
There is no FDMG Academy. These abandoned buildings to this day.
Promise Academy at the Dr. Umar FDMG Academy is Black August Leo season. Where my Leos at? All silverback alpha male Leos, give me some fire. If you a black Leo male, I don't care if you in Africa, Arizona, Angola, Antigua. If you are a black male, African Leo male, give me some fire signs. Where my Leo males at? I need some fire.
See all the self-soothing? That's why I put it, because this is just an example of Umar withdrawals, a self-soothing behavior, rubbing his hands together and rocking back and forth. He's having withdrawal.
From the Leo males. Give me some fire signs from the Leo males. And if you are a lioness, a Leo goddess, the lioness empresses, give me some hearts. Give me some.
Boy, this guy, he's something else. Okay, let's get to it, everyone. I was playing this too earlier.
We're going to play and we're going to hit today, family. Let me show you what we're about to do. Let me show you what we're about
Umar
to do,
gambling.
family. We're about to get us some money for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We about to get some money. I need that 1.2 right there. Y'all see that? That's what we need. That's what we need, that 1.2 mil. Y'all see that? That will get the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, the whole campus.
See, now he's saying the whole campus for 1.2, but in the other video, he said it was what? $2 million, right? Y'all see this at the one?
This will take care of the whole campus, family. This will take care of the whole campus, family. That 1.2, that will take care of the whole campus. So we're going to do Wheel of Fortune, Ifa Tunde style. We're going to do Wheel of Fortune, Ifa Tunde style.
Yeah, did anyone catch that? Hit the one. Right? Yeah, I played that last week. In fact, I played it last week. Yeah, I played it for it's a members video. Yeah, we covered that. Yeah, thanks, Gary. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I was clear about that because yeah, thank you guys. Whenever I say hit the one, it's just more like confirmation because if it's not clear, I can go back and explain it. But the point is that Umar, at least in 4 videos now, he's changed the amount of money that it's going to cost in renovations to get all the buildings renovated. And he's also changed the amount for the smaller school and for the larger school separately. That's the point that I want to get here. But it goes to show you he doesn't have a plan. He never had a plan. He's not about the business. The first thing that he should, even before acquiring these abandoned buildings, he should have had all of that information. How much is it going to cost? Itemized list. The building should have been inspected before he purchased them to see what he was getting himself into with y'all's money. Okay, if he takes $400,000, but it's $2 million to renovate, what's the point? I'll propose that it's way more than $2 million for both sides of the street for sure. But why would you purchase a building with $400,000, Umar, knowing that that was about all the money he had left, and then you have $2 million worth of renovation work still to be done? Okay, well, here we are 6 years later. Renovations still aren't complete, even though he said they were done in 2023. He lied about that.
Now, y'all got to help me out because I don't know how to gamble. And I see all kind of shit. I see a wheel. I see the bar. How do I play this? We need this money for FDMG, family. We need this money. So what do I do? Okay. Cash out, service. We got to play, family. Y'all think I'm playing. How do we play this?
This is ridiculous.
How do we, one line of credit? We need this right here. We need this 1.2 to Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We need this 1.2. Do I want one line of credit? Repeat the bet. So what is this? I got to put my credit card in here? What I got to do, family? We need this money. I'm about to straight roll because I'm going to hit the service. I just hit the service. I'm going to ask her to show me how this works. $1? Can I do a $1?
All right. That's enough. I'd also showed this earlier.
Taking out a check to get something done. Okay, I would expect some questions like, what are you spending this fundraising money on? You don't even have a school yet. So the money is only going into the account.
Dang, look at the difference. This is 2014.
There's nothing coming out of the account because we don't have a school yet. You see, so I don't mind the questions because I'm not a crook or a thief, but it does bother me because we have had black leaders who have robbed us blind and they never get these questions. We got black churches who rob us blind every Saturday.
This is what you call deflecting.
Sunday, not every church, but many of them, they don't get these questions. You know, so it's interesting that I would get these questions with the track record that I have of being honest and giving so much of my free time for stuff that other people charge tens of thousands of dollars for.
See, because this video again is from 2014. We're in 2025. Time always tells the truth. Umar, he's a crook. Yeah, and he's a chronic liar. Yeah. He's a chronic liar, and he's projecting. I think he is projecting. I'm gonna call you Brother Domo. Okay, you change the thing. I'll just say Brother Domo if you don't mind. That's the homie right there. Yeah, he is. He lies and he scams. That's what he does. Okay. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Eddie. I saw some of your comments today. They Umar followers. They be waiting for you. That's too funny. Shout out to Ed Davis. Here we go.
But again, it's only been a few people. And most of the people who have scrutinized what am I doing with this money, even though I have a website, even though there's a video, even though we're in the process of getting all paperwork that needs to be done.
See that? He didn't have paperwork done. What he's really referring to is tax exempt status. This is in 2014. So all the money that he raised in 2014, it was personal income. Then when he finally gets to paperwork in order, the nonprofit status is revoked by the IRS in 2017 because Umar wasn't filing proper paperwork with them and letting them know how much money he was collecting. And then 2018, 2019, he acquires his abandoned buildings, but he doesn't get tax exempt status again until, if memory serves me correctly, it's not until towards the middle of 2020. So all the money from 2000, I think it's like towards the end of 2017 through the end of 2020 is considered to be personal income. And that's why Umar has these massive tax liens. And I highly doubt that he's resolved those tax liens. It was tens of thousands of dollars. I can't even remember. One of them was for like, I think $60,000 or something like that. Just crazy. But again, he didn't have a plan. He didn't have paperwork in order in 2014. And then when he acquires his abandoned buildings in 2019, he doesn't have a plan. And he didn't have proper paperwork in order. And then now here we are in 2025. He still doesn't have a plan, but he does have tax exempt status, right?
Most of them are enemies anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
What about, just change gears for a bit, this is a big undertaking and no one person can do it all.
Yeah, see, this is Umar back in the day when he was more like a school psychologist presenting himself as such. I mean, he's so different these days. He's fallen so far. But it's his own doing. He can't blame anyone else.
All on their own. Now, I'm assuming that you have a team that's helping you with this. Can you speak to that? How's your team coming along? How are they feeling about the fundraising process, etc.?
Well, I mean, I have people who are out there doing all they can to get as many.
See, he doesn't answer the question. He doesn't have a team. He didn't have one then. He doesn't have one now.
Many donations as we can. But we're optimistic. I'm going to remain optimistic. I can't quit, on our boys. This was an extravagant undertaking, but it was realistic. Black people gross $1 trillion every year in the American economy. A $5 million campaign for people who gross $1 trillion, for people who spend over 200.
See, now he's saying a $5 million campaign because he started with 1 million, then he went up to 2, then he went up to 4, then he had it up to 5 million.
$95 billion on clothes every year. What's 5 million? The asking price at the auction on Wednesday is $2.5 million. What's $2.5 million to people who spend more than that on alcohol and cigarettes? It's nothing. So was it extravagant? From the perspective that our people have their priorities out of order, it was kind of extravagant. But from the perspective that we clearly have it within our economic capability to help Dr. Umar raise this money, it wasn't extravagant at all.
No. It was extremely extravagant. It was delusional. Look. This guy, he's a delusional thinker. He didn't have a job at that time, don't have no money. But look, this is what he conceptualized initially. See, the video we were just watching, it's from June 20th, January, February, March, April, May, June, no, July 20th of 2014. Well, this is what he conceptualized in March of 2014. Okay, 3 months prior. Think about this. 3 months prior, this is what Umar conceptualized. And this is over the top ridiculous. This is the aerial view of preliminary Heaven on Earth, Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG Leadership Academy 500-acre campus. Encircled by FDMG River in the shape of Mother Africa, Ancestor Park in the center of the campus, dormitories, airfield, athletic facilities, a farm, a state-of-the-art music and theater production studio, a greenhouse, a zoo, community center, separate buildings for all 33 trade areas, and much more. There's 2 schools here. There's a middle school and there's an elementary school. There's 7 massive dormitories. They look like hospitals. In fact, there is an FDMG hospital. There's a zoo. Okay, there's a track and field facility. There's a baseball field, like a baseball diamond, a NASA building, air traffic control tower. The list goes on and on. Hangar bays, 2 hangar bays, an airstrip for airplanes and helicopters to land on. And the list goes on and on and on. And Umar's talking about it wasn't unrealistic. No, it was unrealistic from the beginning. This guy, he lives in a delusional world. He's a delusional thinker. That's why he comes up with all these ideas. And this is what he conceptualized. On top of all this, there's much more I can say about this. I'll cover this side of the documentary. If you guys look, I thought that this was like a wrap that surrounded this in the shape of Africa, that it was a wall, but it's actually a man-made river. So what he's saying is, and he's conceptualized 500 acres encircled by a man-made river that he calls FDMG River. That's delusional thinking. Okay, this project right here, it's a multi-billion-dollar project. See, when people have Umar on, this is what they should pull up, because this is what he conceptualized in March of 2014, prior to him even collecting money, allegedly, for the St. Paul's College. See this? But you let him tell it.
We still have the time. I'm not giving up. What's $2.5 million to people who spend more than that on alcohol and cigarettes? It's nothing. So was it extravagant? From the perspective that our people have their priorities out of order, it was kind of extravagant. But from the perspective that we clearly have it within our economic capability to help Dr. Umar raise this money, it wasn't extravagant at all. And we still have the time. I'm not giving up.
Okay, we have 438 likes. We're trying to get to 500, and I'll queue up California Love. I already have it queued up. If we get to 500, if you're enjoying the show, we got almost 1,000 people in the building. If you're enjoying the show and you haven't hit the like button, go on and hit that like button. It'll only take you about a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds at most. Here we go.
But with the money that has been collected, it will automatically be redirected into the next fundraiser. I'm looking at other campuses, other colleges.
See? He knew back then. I've been trying to tell people, you just got to do the research. He knew back then that this was going to go on and on and on, and that ultimately St. Paul's College was merely the catalyst to set up a scenario where Umar could ask for donations indefinitely, which he's been doing. The poll question too, by the way, is how much longer will Umar Johnson hang on to the FDMG school scam? 1,256 votes so far. 16% say 2 more years, 9% say 5 more years, 7% say 7 more years, and 67% said indefinitely. I would vote indefinitely, because there's no telling. There's no way of knowing for sure. But back in 2014, Umar already knew that it wasn't viable. It's not going to happen. How are you going to raise $2.5 million just to put in a starting bid? And you're going to do that in less than a month? Let's give them some grace. You're going to do it in 2 months? And that's just the starting bid. That's just to put in, to get into the game, as it were. See, that Umar knew back then, but he also knew that he can finagle this, and he had an extra strategy. If we don't get St. Paul's, we'll just keep raising money indefinitely. And here we are. That was back in 2014. Here we are in 2025, and he's still raising money for a school that does not exist. Are we talking about Umar or Willy Wonka delusional? No, he really is. The The Black Vegan Sports Bar, non-alcoholic. You know, he's going to have an FDMG zoo, an FDMG farm. One time he said they're going to have an FDMG cemetery, and they're going to go, and you black women, you're going to be the ones that go help them do this. This is what he said. That you guys are going to go and dig up the graves of ancestors, well-known ancestors. You guys are going to rebury them at FDMG. That's what Umar says. Who thinks like that? One time he said that they're going to put an observatory, build an observatory on the roof of one of these buildings so that he can see the surface of planets. A lot of people haven't heard that's from the Big Papa podcast. The list goes on and on and on. You know, a gun club. He's going to have an FDMG gun club for these little kids. The list goes on and on. He's delusional. Thanks, Perry, for super chat. Perry also said teachers will be the bus drivers, bartenders, janitor. But even the fact that you have to put in bartenders just goes to show you how delusional Umar is. Because he said one of the Black Vegan Sports Bars, still going to have they're going to have a bartender, right? If it's going to be a sports bar to serve the drinks, non-alcoholic. Teachers will be the bus drivers, bartenders, janitors, cooks, lawn care, pest control, and African Revolution dance team. Oh no, the African Revolution dance team members. So he can save on wages. Perry, I don't even know what Umar has conceptualized in his delusional mind to be able to finance this. Once renovations are done, and let's just hypothetically everything is done and doors are about to open, school children are enrolled. Well, how are you going to pay faculty and staff? Where'd you get that money from? He can try to save on wages. Perry, I actually think Umar in his mind, what he's conceptualized is that black people are going to be working for free or close to for free, if that makes sense. Because he's parasitic on the black community in that way. He's always, if you guys look at Umar going way back, it's always been that he feels as if people have to do things for him for free. It's always been that way with this guy. But that's because he has this sense of entitlement. It's a narcissism. He feels as if he's entitled to black people's money, including your grit money, your gas money, your rent money. This type of shit he said. So I think, and I'm not sure about this, but I think that in Umar's mind, he already knows that this is never going to pop off. But I think in his mind, in a delusional state, when he gets into the mode where he thinks that somehow this is going to happen magically, RBG fairy dust, that there's going to be this barrage of people showing up that's going to work as the bus drivers, the bartender, the janitor, the cooks, the lawn care, the pest control, African Revolution, their dance team, teachers, etc., and that they're going to come and do all that for free. That's what I think Umar, in his own delusional mind, I think that's where he's at with this. But see, the fact that we even have to think about this in these terms, it just goes to show you how far-fetched this idea and notion of FDMG is. But then also it shows the level of incompetency that Umar possesses to even be thinking like this in the first place. Furthermore, it shows that Umar is nothing more than a con man, because any rational person would have already, long time ago, they would have said, listen, I need to give this up. This is not going to happen. But for Umar, he doesn't do that because he's a con man. He knows that this is his main source of income, and it has been since at least 2014. That's a long time, 11 years, to be getting free money for a school that doesn't exist. So in his mind, he figures, hey, people going to give me money for free. They're going to work for free too. Okay, now we're back in slavery. Here we go. Yep. Thanks, Perry, for super chat. Well, I shouldn't say we. The people who are going to be working for these trap bandos, they're going to be anyway. Okay, let's get back on track here. Okay, so the video that I'm going to cover today, let me go ahead and pull that up. And let me see how long it is. Okay, it's not that long. Yeah, we'll probably be here for another 30 minutes. Okay, let's go for 30 minutes. We're at 471 likes. If we can get 29 more likes, I'll play California Love. Okay, and then we should be able to get through this other video that I've been wanting to get to today. We should be able to get to it in 30 minutes to start winding down the show. Thank you all so much for tuning on. Everyone started Cooker Chat. Appreciate y'all. More than likely, we'll be back tomorrow too with another live stream. I'll probably do a live stream as well for members. We might do like the live stream for everyone and then an after party for members only. We have 1,278 votes on the poll question. How much longer will Umar Johnson hang on to the FDMG school scam? 16% say 2 more years, 9% say 5 more years, 7% say 7 more years, and overwhelmingly 67% say indefinitely. Go and get your vote in. And if you're enjoying the show, go on and hit that like button. Okay, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so let's get to the video. This video is from
on the street.
Yeah, it's not showing up for some reason. Oh, here it is right here. It's from May 9th of 2025. Okay, so about 11 days ago. Here we go.
Several black male celebrities got caught up in a snowstorm. We got the snowstorm. What are we doing, brothers and sisters?
Yeah, that's a Marcus Garvey shirt.
I'm standing with Smokey Robinson, brothers and sisters. I'm standing with Smokey Robinson, brother. Oh.
Yeah, Umar, whenever black men they come up on allegations dealing with sexual impropriety or anything to that degree, Umar always defends them and sides with them in the first place. Again, innocent before proven guilty, but this is a pattern of behavior with Umar. He'll criticize people like Shannon Sharpe for a long time, for many years. In fact, Shannon Sharpe actually responded to Umar because Umar kept going at him, because that's what Umar does. He's always instigating shit. But Shannon Sharpe, but see, he was going at Shannon Sharpe. Y'all remember this? He was going at Shannon Sharpe for a long time. But then once these allegations come out against Shannon Sharpe, Umar defends Shannon Sharpe. Same thing with P. Diddy. I have videos where Umar's talking bad about hip hop and saying stuff about P. Diddy and Jay-Z and Beyonce for that matter. But then when allegations come up against P. Diddy, he defends P. Diddy in the first place. Okay, and we see how that's turned out. Okay, same thing with Jay-Z. Okay, it's a different type of turnout. But the point is that Umar used to criticize him, but as soon as these allegations come to the forefront, Umar always defends the people who are brought up on these types of allegations. Okay, it's a pattern of behavior with Umar. Same thing with Bill Cosby. Yep, same thing.
Oh, yes. I'm standing with Smokey Robinson, brothers and sisters. How dare these damn salsa bunnies?
Okay, and salsa is referring to Mexican women or Latinas, something like that. It's if people said that about black women, all of a sudden Black Lives Matter and Umar would be in an uproar. But it's okay to disparage these other groups of people in these types of ways. It's crazy.
How dare these damn salsa?
Yeah, he did. Anybody remember that? Hit the one. Yeah, but this is long. This was years ago. This was probably about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago at this point. Because Umar was taking shots and talking about how Shannon Sharpe. There was a couple of things. One was Shannon Sharpe has always dealing with white women, but then also he was upset at Shannon Sharpe for something that happened with Skip Bayless. I think it was when Skip Bayless told him to put his glasses back on and was talking crazy, talking reckless, and Umar had something to say. He felt a certain way about it. But anyway, this is a long time ago. Here we go.
Bunnies accused the 85-year-old man. How can an 85-year-old man? How can an 85-year-old man assault 4 salsa bunnies?
Umar, it can happen, but Umar trying to make it seem like all 4 at the same time. What are you talking about? Barry says, I get a sense of exasperation from Umar. He's getting older and time is now the enemy. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. And I totally understand too. I'm almost 50. I totally understand. Yeah, and I agree. I totally agree. That's the thing we were talking about earlier with the horizon. We get older, and that horizon is coming closer, and we sense it, we feel it in our bodies. Okay, we feel it in our minds. Even emotionally, we feel it. And I think Umar, he's struggling with that these days. I really believe that Umar's struggling with that these days. He's not in good physical health, and he hasn't been for a long time. And I'm not saying that to disparage him. I'm saying it as a statement of fact. And I had encouraged him years ago to take better care of yourself. Stop eating the what was it, the zebra cakes and the Philly cheese steaks and the because Umar, he's the type of person, he just don't eat. He'll keep eating. And then he has issues. Someone said it might be sciatica, it probably is, but he has issues in his hip. He can't bend over without experiencing extreme levels of pain. I actually had sciatica one time because I was at a computer too much and sitting in there. Boy, that was extremely painful. Then my leg would lock up. Anyway, he's 50 now. Where will he be in 5 years? Where will he be in 10 years? Where will he be when he's 65? What about when he's 65? Yeah, I think he's grappling with that more and more as he's aging more and more. Umar dyes his beard, but it's all grayed out. But that's his way of trying to keep himself. And I propose he also dyes his hair on his head too. But I think that's his way of trying to maintain some semblance of youth. But he's struggling, and he has. And again, I showed the video very earlier from Umar in 2014, and then we can look at this video right here. Again, it's 11 years later, but that's some serious aging that is taking place. See, and then the horizon is getting closer and closer. Umar has to grapple with that. Yeah, and I'm sure that he is. I'm sure that he is. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, time is his enemy. And like I said, when I first started doing Umar videos, time always tells the truth. And it's going to tell the truth on this too. See? Yeah. Thanks, Barry, for super chat too. Salute. Yeah, that's because Umar, he was going at Shannon Sharp and was talking mess, but other stuff too about Shannon Sharp dating white women and all this stuff. But as soon as these allegations come on Shannon Sharp about him dealing with this 19-year-old and all this freak off type of talk, the freaky slave talk stuff, and I want you to put a big black baby in me, all this kind of stuff, Umar defends Shannon Sharp and baby gravy. I said, what? I wish my wife would. Okay, here we go.
How can an 85-year-old man assault 4 salsa bunnies at the same time? Brother.
See, that's not what they're saying, Umar. We'll come back to this, but we done got the 500 likes. Y'all know what time it is, family. Here we go.
That's right. Like a slow jam. It's West Side, so you know that I'm bad down to no man. Put it there, put it up on beat from Dre. To the roof of the leg. From Oakland to West Side. The back down. Show me love. It's not about it.
I love that part when he says, show me love. This is nuts, Umar. Please stop. I have another video where he's doing this too. But there's no music in the background. I said, man, this guy, he's nuts. I should pull that up, but we got to get going here. It came to mind, quick. Said, what would you say the percentage of the lyrics that Umar got right when he's trying to rap here? What percentage of it? Let me listen to this one more time. Hold on.
Bell, the bottom bell, collar for the dreaming. The rest step of this head, that nigga who's screaming. Did it from money and alcohol, the fiend of the best five ball.
He ain't getting none of it. Well, it's the body. What is that? What in the world is he talking about?
That's right.
He got that's right. What does that mean? Pootie Tang? What in the world did he just say? Tippy tappy.
Like a slow jam. It's West Side, so you know that I'm bad down to no man.
You got that right.
Put it up on beat from Dre. To the roof of the leg.
Sipping the tipping to that leg.
From Oakland to West Side. The back down. Show me love.
Listen, it's got to be less than 10%. Would you guys agree? It's got to be less than 10%. Okay. I mean, I'm just going to say less than. That's all I can think of. Less than 10%. And that's being nice. James says he won't bow down to no man who doesn't donate. But he don't. No, real talk though, James. He disrespects the donors all the time. I have so many videos where he's going off on the donors. Okay? But you know what? It probably, James, in 2025, yeah, in 2020, because he's so desperate and the money ain't coming in like it used to. So, yeah. But back in the day, he would disrespect the donors when they donate. Y'all remember Sister Avanti? He said, thank you, Sister Avanti, for that 10. Next time, make it 20. I know you barely had that. All right. He don't bow down to no man who don't donate. Okay. Thanks, James, for the super chat. Okay, we got to get going here now, everybody. Thank y'all so much. We got to 500 likes. I appreciate y'all. We're going to go for about another 30 minutes. We got about 950 people in the building. 2%. Yeah, it's. I'm just going to say it's less than 10, but I'm just going to say less than 10. Okay. No, he got a couple of them, so we got to always be fair. He got mass science. He got a couple of lyrics. But the way he was saying it when he was making up stuff, it was like like he was sounding so convincing or trying to. Such a goofball. Okay, let's get going here, everybody. Here we go.
Sisters, is getting ridiculous.
Quick question, that's undefeated.
And sisters, it is. How can an 85-year-old man hold down 4 salsa bunnies at the same time?
That's not what is alleged, Umar. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go.
This is getting ridiculous. One of the salsa bunnies, I told y'all to leave that salsa alone. One of the salsa bunnies said Uncle Smokey.
Somebody said Umar, Charles said Umar rapping in hieroglyphics. I wish I could find that video where Polite, he was rapping in hieroglyphics. Well, I said, boy, if you don't stop, let me see if I can find it. Oh, it ain't coming up. Never mind. Well, let me look in here. Hold on one second. No, these are all the videos where when things got really difficult, when he got caught up on these allegations and ultimately went to jail. He was supposed to be in jail for 7 years, right? I think it was 7 years or 6.5. And that was probably, what was that? That was in 2021. Yeah, so he's gonna be in for at least another 3.5 years or something like that. Anyway, I wish I don't. It's not coming up, but boy, if y'all saw that video where he was rapping, y'all would crack up. Thanks, Charles, for super chat. I appreciate it. Here we go.
One of the salsa bunnies said Uncle Smokey assaulted me 23 times. Lord have mercy. How could he assault you 20? What woman comes back a second time? What woman comes back a third time? What woman comes back a fourth time? What woman comes back a fifth, sixth?
This guy, man, Umar.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You came back 22 times after the initial. You came back 22 times after the initial. You came back 22 times. That was not sex assault.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what he always does. Yeah. And I'm not going to get into this, but it's much more complex than what Umar is attempting to make this appear to be. There's power dynamics. There's wages that are involved. I'm talking about people who are being paid to do work. And sexual assault does not necessarily mean full on, let me just say it because we're adults here, penetration. It doesn't have to be that. It could be an inappropriate touch, right? Okay, could that have happened numerous times before an actual penetrative event, if that makes sense to people? Yeah, that can happen. It happens all the time. But Umar wants to make it seem, on one hand, he wants to make it seem as if Smokey Robinson, that's what we're referring to, that the allegations that Smokey Robinson sexually assaulted 4 women at the same time, who he calls salsa women, which would be like Latina, Mexican, Latina, something like to that effect. But that's not what has been alleged. But that's his way of, he's real crafty in that way, because he's done it when he speaks on other topics too. It's a way of shaping a narrative that makes it much more impossible than possible, or much more improbable than probable. So instead of saying he did this to one woman at this point in time, over time, he says he did this to all 4 women at the same time. But that's not what has been alleged. You see what I'm saying here? He's very crafty in this way. I don't mean to get into this even this deep, but just understand that Umar, he always victim shames And he always takes the side of the alleged abuser. Okay. And I don't know what happened. Okay. I don't know what happened. But this is what Umar does time and time again.
That was a relationship. That was not sex assault. That was a relationship. That was not sex assault.
How do you know that, Umar?
You were in a relationship. He was clapping burrito bunny cheeks. He was clapping.
Damn.
House of bunny cheeks. He was clapping brown bunny cheeks. And somewhere along the line, you got upset. Maybe you thought he was going to leave his wife. Maybe you thought he was going to give you some money, a house. I don't know if Uncle Smokey made you a promise.
See, he just making this up. Pure speculation.
I don't know if Uncle...
And he got bugs jumping on him. You see that bug jump on him? On his shirt right there?
Smokey made you a promise? I don't know if Uncle Smokey made you a promise, young Salsa Bunny, but ain't no way you was assaulted and came back 22 more times in the blue room. Uncle Smokey got a little freak in him. He got a special blue room.
This guy. Wow.
Uncle Smokey got a blue room. I think Puffy got a white room. What's up with these colored rooms? What's up with these colored rooms, my brothers and sisters? Why do you need a special colored room in order to clap cheeks? Somebody help me. I don't need no special colored room for Cinnabons.
See, you got to make it about himself. See, he got to start talking P. Diddy freak off talk. See how he getting all ramped up and shit? Look at him. You see how he start getting excited?
In order to clap cheeks. Somebody help me. I don't need no special colored room for Cinnabons and peach cobbler. Oh, no, I don't need no room. I don't need no special rooms.
Here you go.
When it's time for Cinnabons and blueberry cobbler, when it's time for Cinnabons.
He said blueberry. This guy, he's out there. See, he looks for these types of topics so that he can get into P. Diddy freak-off mode. Now, he in the P. Diddy freak-off mode, right? The blueberry cobbler. That's a euphemism for the JJ. I get it, but come on now.
And peach cobbler, when it's time for Cinnabons and apple cobbler, I don't care.
I don't mean to laugh. This guy, he out the window. He ain't even, you know what I'm saying? He just so out the window. He said apple cobbler, peach cobbler, dates, banana cobbler. Come on, Umar, stop. Watermelon cobbler. If you don't stop, he do. He gets activated. He start talking that freak talk. Yeah, he said apple cobbler too. He's nuts. I apologize for laughing, but and I knew he was gonna do this. Let's see how far he take it.
Yeah, what color? I'm just kidding, brothers and sisters. I'm just being funny, brothers and sisters. Y'all worrying about the color of the room. Damn the room. Cinnabonanza. Let's have a Cinnabonanza. You got the buns, I got the ice cream. Let's have.
Damn. This guy, what in the world? This homeless freak. he said he got the ice. What he said? What in the world? What in the world? This guy.
Color of the room. Damn the room. Cinnabonanza. Let's have a Cinnabonanza. You got the buns, I got the ice cream. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. You got the Cinnabons, I'm bringing the ice cream. Let's have.
That's exactly what I was about to say. This is y'all's principle, not mine. How's it going, Malika? This is y'all's. Yeah, that's a new one. Cinnabonanza. This is y'all's principle. Can you imagine? Yeah, evidently, Mike Jones. Umar, he ain't staying focused. Here we go.
Have fun. You got the peach cobbler and the buns. But
come on, Umar.
We're going to have to seriously do something about this snow bunny crisis. We're going to have to seriously do something about this snow bunny crisis. It's getting ridiculous, brothers and sisters. Make sure you hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy.
He needs that money. And right when he say that, he maneuvers the camera so that people could see the sign. See, this is all manipulation on Umar's part. I've been telling y'all, he uses these abandoned buildings as props to get money out of people. Hold on one second.
To us. None of the white man's words. This is crazy. We got polygynous salsa bunnies.
What in the world?
Somebody help me. I don't need no special colored room for Cinnabon. Let's have fun.
Get back to the part.
You got the peach cobbler and the buns. But we're going to have to seriously do something about this snow bunny crisis. We're going to have to seriously do something about this snow bunny crisis. It's getting ridiculous, brothers and sisters. Make sure you hit the PayPal. PayPal.
See, that's a manipulative tactic too, right there. Just to be clear. See, Umar, he has this, it's not a science per se, but he has this, it's a routine. So when he asks for money, even though he's talking about sex, he has to redirect people's attention to the building behind him that has the FDMG signage on it. Because you can't be talking about sex, talking about get on your PayPal, right? It has to be associated with these abandoned buildings in Wilmington. And that's why he's doing what he's doing right here. See, that's what I'm saying. He's a master manipulator. It's a manipulative tactic right here.
Me/FDMG Academy. They done came for an 85-year-old man and accused him of 4 snow bunnies. I want to send a message out to Big Shaq.
Dave said, how's it going, Dave? Dave says Kai Cenat Streamer University has more staff and infrastructure than FDMG in its 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm not even familiar. I didn't even know he had no, actually, I did hear about that. He's teaching people how to be streamers, right? I haven't looked into that, but the thing is that I'm sure that Kai Cenat, he's not doing that for no reason. He probably has it as part of his business. What I mean is that if it's part of the business, you're going to have people that you're working with. You're going to have people that are going to be helping you with this project as you move it along, right? And then you're going to be paying those people too. Well, Dave, let's take this and flip this over to FDMG. Is FDMG a business? And shouldn't it be a business? Okay, let me answer the question. It's not a business. Should it be a business? Yes. Business, you have to generate income so that you can continue to maintain the business, right? You got to pay faculty and staff. We already went over this earlier. You got to pay different insurances. You got to make sure you have the buses. You have to have the bus drivers. You got to have the security guards. You have to have lawyers on deck. You have to have, I mean, the list goes on and on. Is that what we see with Umar as a business? No, that's not what we see with Umar. See, after he conceptualized this in 2004, we're talking 20 years later, he does not have staff or infrastructure. Think about this. Since he started raising money for the St. Paul, since he posted in 2010 that the school is going to open September 11, 2013, he still does not have staff or infrastructure. Since 2014, we started raising money for the St. Paul's College. He still does not have staff or infrastructure. Since 2019, when he acquired these abandoned buildings, now we're in 2025, 6 years later, he still doesn't have staff or infrastructure. Well, why not? Because there's a difference between running a legitimate business and running a scam. So that's why someone like Kai Cenat, who has had levels of financial success, because it's not just him being a comedian or being funny or doing, comedic videos or anything. It's not just that. It's the way that he approaches it. It's like a business. Umar doesn't approach FDMG as a business. He approaches FDMG as a money grab. There's a difference. See, money grabs are not sustainable long term. Businesses are supposed to be designed with staff and infrastructure, Dave, so that it can be sustained over time. And you build it over time and you scale it over time. That's like the guy I learned this from. He used to be the Mavericks owner. I can't remember, Mark Cuban. He always used, because he's deep into tech. He would, even back then when I used to watch Shark Tank, he used to talk about scaling things, and other people on there would talk about it too. But his understanding in terms of using the internet and as a tool of scaling things, you could tell even back then. I was like, this guy really knows what he's talking about. He would often talk about scaling things and helping people to scale things over time. Well, that's business. What is Umar doing? He's not scaling up, he's scaling down. Remember, he wanted to have an FDMG 500-acre campus. One time he said he wanted to have an FDMG city. I kid you not. Then he wants to get the St. Paul's College. He's just slowly scaling down. And then he gets these trap bandos in Wilmington, Delaware. He's scaling down, scaling down. No business plan, no staff or infrastructure. 20 years into this. So I'm not surprised by this at all. There's a difference. There are people who are running legitimate businesses and they're making it work. They have transparency, they have staff, they have infrastructure, and they're working with professionals. Umar doesn't do any of that. And they also have a plan. They have a business plan in advance. Umar's never had a business plan. He doesn't have a business plan today, and he doesn't know what he's doing. See, the whole idea is to get money out of people. That's what you call a money grab. There's a difference. See, if you're going to open up a school, it has to be a business. Just to at least keep the doors open and sustain it over time. But bare minimum, right? Umar can't even do that. Why not? Because he's not interested in that. He's about money. He's about the sex. And he's about turning that heat down. That's all this comes down to. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Yeah. I was going to say the Houston Oilers. That's going to tell you how old I am. I was going to say the Houston Oilers. Never mind. Okay. Some of y'all are like, what are you talking about, the Oilers? We're going to leave it right there. Okay. Let's get back to the video. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. You guys remember the Houston Oilers? Okay, here we go.
Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, I heard you got 4 snow bunnies. Shaquille, please get an NDA, my brother.
Here he
Shaq
goes.
O'Neal, the big Aristotle, the big stepping fetcher, Uncle Shaq, get you a NDA. I think Shaq is smart enough. Shaq got too much money. I think Shaq got those 4 snow bunnies under NDA. I think Uncle Shaq got those 4 snow bunnies under.
Yeah, Shaq, have you remember? Oh, you remember the Oilers? Yeah, because they used to have. Anyway, I'll get off track. Okay. I want to say, you guys notice Umar? He talks more about snow bunnies than he does anything else these days. You notice that? It's amazing.
The NDA. Don't do what our good brother Smokey did, Shaq. He got caught with 4 salsa bunnies. He got a polygynous salsa bunny situation. Shaq O'Neal got a polygynous snow bunny situation.
What are you
Smokey Robinson got a.
Why is he saying polygamous? What is he talking about? See how he's spinning this narrative?
Polygynous salsa bunny situation. Uncle Shaq O'Neal got a polygynous snow bunny situation. Make sure you get an NDA.
You're right, Domo. You're right about that.
Make sure you get an NDA. You said Shaq is the big Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. You said Shaquille O'Neal and Clarence Thomas look like they could be brothers. Shaq ain't as bad as Clarence Thomas. Shaq be cooning. Oh, Shaq definitely be cooning.
Why is Umar doing that with his shirt over and over again?
Shaq definitely be cooning, but he not as bad as Clarence Thomas. They might be brothers, cousins, I don't know.
Maybe he's cold. He don't like the cold, but he look like he's fiending a little bit too, though.
But Shaq, make sure you get you an NDA. I'm trying to figure out how we don't want 1 black woman, but we got 4 snow bunnies. We don't want 1 black woman, we got 4 salsa bunnies. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, Umar, you don't even have a woman. What are you talking about? Living in your mama closet.
We got polygynous salsa bunnies, polygynous snow bunnies. This is getting ridiculous. Somebody going to pop up with a polygynous rice bunny situation. Somebody going to pop up with a polygynous rice bunny situation, and somebody going to pop up with a polygynous.
Real quick, the Thunder they ran through Timberwolves 114-88. I was going to watch the game. I said, let me get on here. Okay, handle the business. Yeah, Thunder 114-88.
Sand bunny situation. Black men do not date white women out of rebellion. Can we stop using the word black and African American? First of all, I'm an African. That's number 1. I'm an African.
No, you not. You Crenshaw Mafia. Cut it out. Anyway.
If anything,
I was talking to my son about this today, and because did you guys know? I've learned this shortly before we start this live stream, because my son, he had said, he was like, Dad, there's a guy named Sharik, and then he said something about Umar. I said, oh, you mean Tariq? He said, yeah. I said, are you talking about Tariq Nasheed? He says, yeah, Tariq Nasheed. So I was talking to my son about how they had a beef and a falling out. He said, well, why? And I explained to it. It goes back to Living Color. In Living Color. It goes back to Hidden Colors. So we had that conversation earlier, and we were also we were talking about some other stuff too, because I was talking about how we were listening to the Stevie Wonder song, and Stevie Wonder says, he talks about people who invented certain things and did certain these accomplishments. He'll say such and such and did this. The first man to successfully complete open heart surgery was a black man. Then he'll say the first person to do such and such was a yellow man, and I said, now we can't say yellow these days. He says, yeah, and I said that would be considered to be offensive, but somehow calling us black people, somehow it's not. He says, yeah, I know that. Anyway, and red man, same thing. We had a conversation about that with the Washington Redskins. We talked about that last week. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I did not know this. I kid you not. My daughter, because we were talking about Tariq Nasheed and Hidden Colors, and she says, "Yeah, I saw that movie. I saw that." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "They played it at school." And I said, "What the fuck?" I was shocked. She was like, "Yeah, I saw the two of them. I saw two of them." I said, "What in the world?" And I didn't have time to talk to her further because I had to start the show. I had to go jump in the shower to get ready for the show. But I'm gonna have to talk to her about that. I said, "So what? Are you saying that in the classroom they played it, or was it some of your friends that were playing it at school?" That's what I want to know. I'll report back to y'all after I talk with her. I was shocked with what she said. Anyway, let's get back to it. I apologize. It came to mind,
American African. I was born in America, but I'm an American African. You understand? I'm not going to stop saying black because I think black is the most beautiful color in the universe. I think black is the most powerful color in the...
Yeah, but you're not. See, this is colorism. Umar, you're not black skinned. Cut it out. You need to cut this out. Anyway, I'm
universe. Black soil. The black skin of the black queen, the black womb that gives birth to beautiful black babies. I will never stop using black. Now, if you got issues with being black, so be it. What do you want to call yourself, white?
No, that's not the point. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go. Okay. I get it. It's a social construct, and I get it. Okay. But anyway.
What do you want to call yourself, white? No, you don't want to call yourself black.
Oh, maybe she's talking about Hidden Figures. I'm gonna find out, Dave. I'm gonna find out, and I'll report back to you guys tomorrow. I just didn't have time to talk to her. I was like, what? Okay. Maybe she meant Hidden Figures, because I know she saw that too.
You want to call yourself a white man's word like indigenous. You don't want to call yourself black. You want to call yourself a white man's word.
Okay, wait a minute. Black, that's go look up Blumenbach. What are you talking about, Umar? In racial classification system. There's three guys too. Blumenbach is one of the main ones, but there's three. I already talked about this last week. Umar, what are you talking about? Goofy.
Like Aboriginal. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, Negro. Black is beautiful. Black is awesome. I have no problem with blackness because the light comes from the dark. You can't have light without darkness, brothers and sisters. God is black. The universe is black.
Anyway.
Melanin is black. Carbon is black.
This guy said God is black. He probably got a North Philly beard too, and live inside his mama closet. I apologize, Lord. I'm just goofing off. I'm sorry. Sometimes I shouldn't do that. I did taking it too far. I apologize. God is black. Got a North Philly beard, living in mama closet. and be renting cars. Let me stop. thou shalt have thy Cinnabons. I said, oh, Lord, please. Lord, don't bless me, Leslie, please. Yes, my son, thou shalt have the Cinnabons. Let me stop. Umar, wow, boy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Barry. I apologize. I'm sorry, Barry. I made a promise. I broke my promise already. Okay, let's get going. Umar, wow, boy. Here we go.
I don't have no problem.
The Lord be still. Okay, that's not right. Let me let it go. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, here we go.
With the word black. I know some of you Negroes is like to intellectually masturbate the white man's vote.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's funny. It's inappropriate. I apologize, Lord. Here we go.
Vocabulary, that's your business. You want to intellectually masturbate the white man's vocabulary.
He always saying that, Umar. Cut it out.
Vocabulary, that's your business. No, none of the white man's words apply to us. None of the white man's words can properly define African people. So I'm not going to go back and forth over the white man's words. Teach me an African language. A couple black kings just won the game for Manchester.
I wish I had this video unedited.
The United. Shout out to them brothers if they not bunny hopping. Shout out to them brothers. Wait, time out. Colin Kaepernick.
Sports bet. I can't read it. Come on now. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Use the 225. Thou shalt. Yes, my son, thou shalt crush thy cookies at the. Okay, all right. It's my fault. I should have took it there in the first place. All right. I apologize. It's just that when we say the Lord thing, it's too much. Okay, I shouldn't have did that. I apologize. Okay, here's the 225. Thank you for that. Okay, we got about 10 more minutes on this video. Here we go.
Colin Kaepernick, please come to the front. Colin Kaepernick, I got a gripe with you, my brother.
Here you go.
Salute you. I appreciate what you did, taking the knee. You sacrificed your career for the respect and integrity and safety of our people. But brother,
what is he talking about? He all over the place. Now you're talking about Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, I'm getting reports, my brother, that you have been snow bunny. Can somebody confirm if our brother Colin Kaepernick? Can somebody confirm if our brother Colin Kaepernick has been bunnied? I heard that you have been seen.
Umar, why don't you just get you a white woman and cut it out? You cook rush out, hit the one. Shouldn't he just get you a white woman? Get a big one. You know what I'm talking about? With two first names like Susie Ann or something. Just go get you a big white woman and just call it a day. I ain't gonna hold you on it. You know what I'm talking about? Hit the one. I mean, I would not clown him about it either. I would just be like, okay, just live your life. Live you, be you. Okay? It's at this point, it's ridiculous. All you talk about is white women and the snow bunny and I. What in the world? No, you didn't. Cut it out. Talk about. Yo, wow. Yeah, you graduated from FDMG. School ain't even open yet. You just graduated in 2021. Umar, just go and get you a white woman to cut it out. Anime or something like that. Cut it out. Get one from the Appalachian Mountains. You know what I'm talking about?
With the sand bunny or a rice bunny. Colin Kaepernick, my dear brother, have you been bunnied? Has Colin Kaepernick been bunnied? Can somebody confirm? I heard
why is he even bringing this up? Did something happen with Colin Kaepernick recently? I ain't heard nothing about him in a long time.
Colin Kaepernick was caught bunny hopping. I don't know if it was snow. I don't know if it was rice. I don't know if it was spice, sand, or salsa, but I heard Colin.
Who do y'all think would be the perfect white woman for Umar? I'm just going to throw that out there before we close the show out. When we're going to be
Colin Kaepernick is not with a black woman. My dear brother, I hope that's not true. Colin Kaepernick, my dear brother, I hope that's not true. Colin Kaepernick, you cannot stand up for black people and bunny hop. This is the same issue I had with our great ancestors.
Oh, no. Madonna, he just needed, as long as she a Karen, that's to be perfect, Umar. That's all. Dolly Parton. Don't put Dolly in there. I had a question on Dolly Parton a long time ago. Yeah, Roseanne Barr would be good. I think that'd be good for Umar. I don't think Dolly Parton would be good for Umar. Roseanne Barr would be perfect. I don't even know who Rebel Wilson is. Tess, I don't even know who that is either. No, don't put Barbara Streisand in it. No, that ain't right. Someone said, who is Octomom? What in the world? Okay, let's go.
The Harry Belafonte. Rest in peace to Harry
Umar Johnson finna get him a big pay.
Belafonte. I will not throw out the baby with the bathwater. He stood
crazy.
with Dr. King. He helped finance the civil rights movement, but he married a snow bunny. Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. Umar and Rachel Dolezal. So say Iron Culture. That would be wild. That would be great. Caitlin. Yeah, Umar and Paula Dean would be perfect. Okay, let's go.
Cannot do that. Colin Kaepernick, you cannot do that. You have to stop doing that. You cannot fight for us and then go marry the rice. You can't fight for us and go marry the spice. You can't fight for us and go marry the ice. You can't fight with us and go marry the sand or the salsa. Colin Kaepernick. I need confirmation. She black?
Martha Stewart.
I don't think she black. Not the picture somebody sent me.
I don't even know who you talking about.
You want me to stream with you, young king? You got to pay for that. The most requested black scholar in the world for 15 years don't come free, my young king. The most requested black scholar in the world for 15 years don't come free, my young king. We got to finance the movement. What are your thoughts on Martin Luther?
Her name is Nessa. She looks like she could be Latina. That's what she look like to me. Y'all want to see a picture? Let me see. Yeah, she looked like she could be Latina. That's what she looked like to me. Umar, you just jealous because you ain't got no woman. You in your mama closet. You need to cut it out. Get out your mama closet. Let's start there. Goofball. Let me know. I ain't going to put her on the screen. I ain't going to do that.
King, he's the greatest black leader we've had. And he's the last great black leader we had. Malcolm didn't get a chance to get started. Fred Hampton didn't get a chance to get started. So Dr. King was the last one who was actually able to put some of his things into place. Beautiful like lace. How you doing, sister? I want you to go natural. That beautiful brown skin. You got to go natural.
She's Egyptian?
Joe Button podcast part 2. Don't worry.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Me and New Jersey Joe going to link up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, her last name is Diab. So yeah, that's yeah. She's probably from the Middle East somewhere. But the people are saying that she's Egyptian. I can see that for sure. Yeah. Umar Johnson would enjoy being called. Don't do that. Don't do that. We ain't gonna do that. That's too far. He like that slave talk. Say, baby, you gonna get me to the Underground Railroad? Let me stop. Here we go.
Will you marry Simba and Suki?
What?
Will you marry Simba and Suki? Will Dr. Umar make Simba and Suki his 2 wives? Well,
here you go.
Well, they're going to have to go natural and change their professions, and we'll be all right. They would both have to go natural and change their professions, and we'll be all right. But they're 2 beautiful black women. Much love to Suki, much love to Simba. 2 beautiful black women. South Africa, July 14th to July 17th. There ain't no way Smokey Robinson was able.
Yeah, so Nessa was born to Egyptian parents. She has 2 brothers. She grew up in Southern California, but her dad's job frequently moved her family between California and Saudi Arabia. She graduated with a degree in mass communications from the University of California, Berkeley. Okay, yeah. Good for him.
To assault 4 sand bunnies at the age of 75. There's no way. There's no way Uncle Smokey could assault 4 salsa bunnies at the same time at the age of 85. Who believes that? What woman comes back 22 times again after the first assault? What woman you know does that? That was not an assault. That was a relationship. That was not an assault. That was a relationship. What woman goes back 22 times after the initial assault? That was not an assault. That was a relationship. Why would you want to marry 2 women? You only need 1. How you know what I need, my beautiful sister? How do you know what I need? It's not about sex. It's about the work. I keep telling y'all sisters, get out of your lower chakra.
No, it is about sex. That's why he always talking about sex. If Umar, no. Okay, you just need to find that's then we're gonna leave it right there. Okay, what's up, Bridget? How you doing? But he can be a professional scammer, and they have yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that's Umar. One of them became a new member. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and shout out to all the members too. Okay, I appreciate you all. I was gonna make a point too. It was what Umar just said just now. Hold on, let me just rewind just a second. We're almost done because we got about 4 more minutes on.
I need. It's not about sex. It's about the work. I keep telling.
Yeah, but you see, Umar, there was a significant percentage of this video where he's just talking about sex. He's always talking about sex and crushing cookies and what was he talking about? The apple cobbler and all this stuff. So yeah, it is about sex. It's about sexual debauchery, freak off type of stuff. Having 2 women, dealing with them, and sometimes dealing with both of them in the bed. And that's what y'all into. I'm a one woman man. I ain't got enough. This too much. I got to focus on one. You know, it's about the quality for me. I got to be. That's how I'll be looking at it. But it's freak off it's just freak off talk. And then also he sees women as being his servant. So now he has 2 women to take care of him because, you know, he's like a mama's boy. He don't know how to take care of himself in real life.
Telling y'all sisters.
Yeah, he said blueberry cobbler. That's what he said. That's a new one. I said, what?
Get out of your lower chakra.
Why he keep doing this with his shirt? Anyone in the cooker chat, what's going on?
This is not about
dating and mating.
It's not about that. It's
he was gonna say something real crazy, but he stopped himself.
It's about the work. It's about the work.
What's up, Stars?
Who is the new pope? What's the name of the new pope? Y'all said the brothers didn't get the job.
Here he go.
The Roman Catholic Church is racist.
What's
the
up,
Roman Brazil.
Stop.
Byron Russell, Lord. No, not Byron Russell. Byron, what's Byron last name?
It
ain't Russell.
About?
How y'all doing, my beautiful African sisters? All right.
What is he talking about?
Byron, what was Byron last name? Y'all done made me forget his name. What's his name, y'all?
Oh, he's talking about Byron Scott. Come on, Umar, get it together. Shout out to Edward, Captain Edwards in the building. Yeah, he didn't do nothing. He just got up there to try to get money out of people. Got that tight bandana on. Shout out to Edward. User 225, Umar Johnson unbuttoning his shirt for the cold. What does that mean? What's a cold bunny? Listen, I don't know all this lingo, user 225, but he said the salsa, he said the I don't even know. Salsa bunny, rice bunny, salsa bunny, rice bunny. What's a cold bunny? He has other ones too. I don't know all of them. Anyway.
Byron.
Scott.
Los Angeles Lakers. He just got accused by a bunny.
No, he didn't get it. He admitted it. Okay, cut it out. And I don't even know if it was a bunny or not. I have no idea.
He got a salsa bunny case too. Can women
salsa, rice, spice? What's the spice? Oh no, spice is supposed to be what? I guess a Middle Eastern. Is that what he says? And I don't know what ice cream is. I don't know. Somebody, if you know what this is, go on and break it down. Type it in the chat room for me.
Have 2 husbands so you can have a loosey-goosey? Not in my house. 2 husbands so you can come in my house with a loosey-goosey dripping all over my floor? No thank you.
What? This is y'all's principle. A loosey-goosey he's talking about a vajayjay is the goose. So a loosey, he's talking about a loose vajayjay. That's what he's talking about. Vagina. And Umar, you don't even have a house. You got a mama closet. What are you talking about? This guy, something wrong with him. Something is wrong with this guy. I done heard it all. We're almost done, but my goodness.
Can women have two husbands so you can have a loosey-goosey? Not in my house. Two husbands so you can come in my house with a loosey-goosey dripping all over my floor? No, thank you. You can keep that.
What does that mean? What is that supposed to mean? I don't know. He said his floor. What you talking about? FDMG? Is that what you talking about? How's it going to lower the team? Umar talking about FDMG. Umar Johnson said loosey goosey like his. Don't stop. Don't do. What in the world are you tripping? Come on now. I'm gonna have to read your comments before I put it up on here. You tripping? He's taking it too far. All right, let's finish this up. My goodness gracious. Here we go.
Goose. You can keep that goose. Oh no. Oh no, not in my house. You're not gonna be coming in my house with a leaky transmission. No, thank you, my sister.
What? What did he say? This guy, he said a leaky transmission. What are you talking about? Now that the JJ is an automobile part, you already said it's the food, it's the cookie. Now it's the automobile part. What does that mean, Umar? A leaking transmission? Yeah, I know loyalty, but I thought it wasn't about sex. But here you go.
You are not coming in my house with a leaky transmission after you done been with another man. I don't think so. You keep that goose right where you keep that goose right where you had it at. You take that goose. Byron Scott has been salsa bunny. No, there will be men.
Catalytic converter all drip. What are you talking? Catalytic converter all dripping on drip drizzle. Omar is crazy. Your alternator is alternating all that. Just anyway. Umar, he's something else.
And women employed at FDMG. There will be, yes, sir. There will be men and
it's the kicking spot.
Women employed at FDMG. Loosey goosey.
Yeah, let's get your final votes in. If you haven't answered the poll question, let's try to see if we can get to 1,500. We're at 1,467 votes. We're going to go for another 5 minutes. The question is, how much longer will Umar Johnson hang on to the FDMG school scam? 16% say 2 more years, 10% say 5 more years, 8% say 7 more years, 66% say indefinitely. We're at 558 likes. Let's see. I want to see if we can get to one. Let's see if we can get to 1,500 votes. Okay. Let's see if we can do that, and I'll close out that poll in about 5 minutes, so we'll wind down the show. Okay, we're almost done with this. Here we go. Quick request. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. I do plan on live streaming tomorrow as well as a members-only live. Here we go.
Leaky transmission, loosey-goosey. Leaky transmission, loosey-goosey. You leaking transmission fluid all in my bed sheets? I don't think so.
Wait a minute. Is Umar suggesting that this woman that he's dealing with, who has 2 husbands, presumably he's one of them, hypothetically, she's dealing with this other dude and he up in there and lets it off. It lets one off, y'all catch my drift? And then she come home and is that what he's saying? That the transmission fluid is the baby gravy? What in the... Is that what he's saying? Yeah, Brina. He's a 50-year-old man. No, period, though. You better 50? I think that's what and I could be wrong, but I think that's what he's saying here. Hit the 1 if y'all think that's what he's saying. Hit the 2 if you think it's something else. These poor rental cars, they don't tell them what he's... What these rental cars have been through over the months. Boy, this guy, he's sick. I said, and because what he's saying is because he. So this is the thing I notice about Umar. He'll tell these. Oh my God. Quick question, y'all just do too much. Okay, it's just too much. All right, but Umar has this habit of suggesting things to people, these hypotheticals, but then he tells it as if it's a real story. This is something I noticed about Umar in my research. He does it all the time. Even when he talks about the school earlier on the conceptualization, he'll be explaining it, but he explains it in a way as if it's a story that is real, and he's telling it as if he's living it in real life. So when you bring your children to the school, you know, they're going to meet me and I'm going to, so he's talking about it as if it's really happening or that it's going to happen. Sometimes he'll talk as if it is happening. Well, in this case, he's talking as if this hypothetical, there's a woman, I'm just real quick. There's this woman that wants to have two husbands. He's presumably is one of the husbands. This is a story that he's telling in a backwards way. And she's dealing with this other man, her other husband, and she's dealing with him. They engage in sexual intercourse. Obviously, he raw dogging it. And he lets off some gravy, some baby gravy. She come on home to Umar, allegedly his home, his mama closet, and that's why she dripping the baby gravy. That's what it sounds like to me. This is y'all's principle.
Can women have two husbands so you can have a loosey-goosey? Not in my house. Two husbands so you can come in my house with a loosey-goosey dripping all over my floor? No, thank you.
Yeah,
you can keep that goose.
That's what he's saying, because the loosey-goosey means that she had already had sexual intercourse, because that's what he talks about. Excuse me. I mean, it's perverted, but what he's saying is that the reason why her vagina is loose is because she's been engaged in sexual intercourse with another man, and that's not even how it works. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just weirdo. He's a weirdo, P. Diddy type. And because she was dealing with him, she already has a loosey-goose, but then it's also is dripping, and that would be the baby gravy that her other husband let off. This is great. This is crazy.
You can keep that goose. Oh no. Oh no, not in my house. You're not gonna be coming in my house with a leaky transmission. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's what. See, it's not even funny anymore now. Now that I understand what he's saying, he's really disturbed. He's a disturbed individual, P. Diddy type.
My sister, you are not coming in my house with a leaky transmission after you done been with another man. I don't think so.
See, there it is right there. Man, I didn't understand it, but now I see what he's saying. The story that he's telling.
So you keep that goose right where you keep that goose right where you had it at. You take that goose. Byron Scott has been salsa bunny. No, there will be men and women employed at FDMG. There will be, yes, sir.
Yeah, we need 19 more votes on the poll. Okay, if y'all get your vote in, if you haven't voted already, here we go.
There will be men and women employed at FDMG. Loosey-goosey. Leaky transmission. Loosey-goosey. Leaky transmission. Loosey-goosey.
Man.
You leaking transmission fluid all in my bed sheets? I don't think so.
Boy,
I don't think so, my sister. Who tapping in? Let's do some tap-ins. Tap in before my phone die out. Who tapping in? Who tapping in? Tap in. We got to organize, energize, mobilize. Donald Trump has signed 23 executive orders.
Man, to cut it out.
Donald Trump.
Read that? You true.
Donald Trump has signed 23 executive orders. We're going to have to talk about it. Donald Trump has signed 23 executive orders.
All right. We did reach our goal for likes. We're at 567. We still need 10 more votes, and then I'll close out the poll. Okay.
That negatively affect African people. Donald Trump has signed 23 executive orders that have negatively affected African people. Who the new pope? Who got the new pope job? Did they give the pope job to a brother?
That's what I was saying.
I said, is the new pope a brother? Is the new pope a brother, brothers and sisters? Can somebody confirm if there's an African in the Vatican? Can somebody confirm, is there an African in the Vatican? Did one of the brothers get the Vatican job? Do we have a black Jesus? Do we have a black Jesus in Rome, brothers and sisters? That one of the
a what? A black? What are you talking about? He's gonna make it about himself. Watch, because he's the black Christ.
Elders
they chose a white man. Don't tell me they chose another Caucasoid. Lord have mercy.
Here you go. Yeah, you're right, Ed Avis. You're absolutely right. He'll start criticizing them and everything. That's what he do. What's up, Jesus Christ?
So, brothers and sisters.
Okay, we're almost done. This is it right here.
Don't worry, I'll be pulling up the Joe button sooner or later. Here's some more.
Yeah, see, he had posted on his Instagram that he was going to be on Joe Budden soon, and he just put it on there. He lied. He be lying like that all the time, saying he's going to have this event, no event. He's going to be on this podcast, ain't on it.
Morgan tried to get me on the show. I'm not feeling him. Piers Morgan tried to get me on the show, sent me an email. I'm not feeling that. If you live in the United Kingdom and you got a podcast, I'll be in the United Kingdom. Where my Manchester Africans at? It looks like I'm going to be at the University of Manchester, England. It looks like I'm going to be at the University of Manchester, England, Wednesday, May the 28th. Where my Manchester Africans at?
Yeah, he did say he was supposed to be debating at one of those prestigious universities. He's supposed to be debating someone, but I haven't seen any other information about it. We'll see.
I won't see you for African Liberation Day, UK, but I will see you in Manchester 3 days later. I won't see you on African Liberation Day, my UK, United Kingdom, my English Africans, my British Africans, but you can meet me at the University of Manchester on Wednesday, May the 28th. Where are my Manchester, Wolverhampton, Luton, Bristol, and London Africans? I will see you at the University of Manchester on Wednesday, May the 28th. And then on Thursday, May the 29th, I'm at the Oxford Union for the great debate where Malcolm X stood 100 years ago. Malcolm X stood 100 years ago.
Okay, and what day did he say he's supposed to be at the Oxford Union on?
Where Malcolm X stood on Wednesday, May the 28th. And then on Thursday, May the 29th, I'm at the Oxford Union.
So May the 29th, supposed to be at the Oxford. I wonder who he's going to be debating, though, because he didn't say who he was going to be debating.
For the great debate where Malcolm X stood 100 years ago. Where Malcolm X stood 100 years ago. Excuse me, Malcolm X will be 100 this year, but where Malcolm X stood a few months before he passed away.
Yeah, I know. He's tripping. Okay, he just sports betting. Good catch right there, because he's just tripping. The racist salsa snow bunny rhetoric is discussing, in my opinion, it's a deliberate tactic to lower black women by pitting them against other women. It's sick. Yeah, I think that is part of it. The on one hand, it's because see, if there were people, let's say, well, see, it's even hard for me to explain it that way because I don't think in those terms. But y'all just give me a little bit of grace here. If you had, let's say, a Mexican woman and she's calling and she has a Mexican, it's hard even me to think like this, but I'm just gonna go with it. There's Mexican men who are dealing with black women, and she says that these are jigaboo bunnies. It's a problem now, right? But if there's an Asian woman, because he calls them the rice bunnies, there's an Asian woman and there's an Asian men who are, let's flip it around. Let's say there's an Asian man and there's Asian women who are dealing with black men, and the Asian man says, yeah, she's dealing with Sambo bunnies or something to that, Mandingo bunnies. Okay, now it's a problem. Or fried chicken, and I think a better example would be a fried chicken bunny or hair, I guess, bunny hair. You see what I'm saying? So strategically speaking, yeah, I agree. User 225. Umar, what he's doing is he's setting up a dynamic where he's disparaging other groups of people and their women, but then the notion and the idea he's putting forth the notion idea that as black men we shouldn't be dealing with them, and we should be focusing on our black women. So in other words, it's a form of venerating black women, that we should only be dealing with them and we shouldn't be dealing with these other ones because for whatever reason they're less than. So yeah, I think that's part of what Umar is doing here. I also think that the issue of what Umar would classify as interracial relationships. There are no races. Okay, there's a human species. Real talk. There are no races. There are ethnic groups, but there are no races. But from Umar's perspective, the idea is it's coming from a place of racist rhetoric. And if he could not only pit black women against these other groups of women, it's to his advantage, okay? Because then black women are going to be more inclined to donate to him. But then while he's spewing this racist rhetoric, at the end of the day, what he's hoping for is for these same black women to support him financially and sexually, for that matter. So I think it's two-pronged. I think it is to create it's not even just dissension, it's competition between black women and these other groups of women. And the black women are competing for these black men. Here we go. But then also to on some level, chastise black men to say that, hey, listen, you should only be dealing with black women and black women should be venerated. But then for these black women, when they hear that rhetoric, they say, okay, I'm going to support Umar, therefore. Right. And I'm going to support him financially. And in some cases, I'll support him sexually, give up the draws. Yeah. It is sick. But that's Umar. Okay, that's Umar. He's a slickster. Okay. Very slick. And sick. All right. Yeah. I guess another one would be a tar bunny if they said something like that, or a Popeyes bunny. Yeah, he's a pander. He's pandering. That's really what it comes down to. Wingstop bunny, anything like that, a watermelon bunny, that kind of thing. See, it will be people will be outraged, right? It's offensive to me, the snow bunny and the rice and all this stuff. But for some reason, Umar, he gets a pass. Yeah, that's a good term for it. It's a psychological racism. Yeah. Hey, Jojo. Yeah, we're finishing up right now. We're almost done. There's only about a minute left on this. And then we'll close out. I plan on live streaming tomorrow and also doing a live stream for members only. Okay, so let's finish this up. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. Let me just check here to see if we got to our goal for the who is this lady? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I don't know who this is. So her name is Hannah Kobayashi. Okay, I'm sorry, I got to get onto my YouTube page over here. We got a good turnout too today. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. 1,000. Okay, so yeah, we got to our goal. Yeah, another one is spook bunny. Yeah, that kind of talk. How much longer will Umar Johnson hang on to the FDMG school scam? We got over 1,500 votes. Thank you everyone who voted. 17% say 2 more years, 10% say 5 years as we close out, 8% says 7 years, and then 66% say indefinitely. I'm going to go with indefinitely. But like Barry was saying, I was saying it earlier too, that Umar can't keep this up forever. There's a horizon on this, and it's only a matter of time. Okay. Thanks everyone who voted. I'm going to close that out so it's archived here inside of the Cookie Crush chat, which is undefeated. All right. Say, Lenon, it still won't let me join. Something is happening. Oh, are you talking about members? I don't understand why. Try on a different device too, because sometimes it depends on the device that you have. It should be accessible on all platforms, but there is that issue from time to time. For instance, if you're on a smartphone and it's not showing up where you can join, maybe try a laptop or a Chromebook, or whatever you may have. Try that, and hopefully that get you put you in a position to actually join the members archive. There's over 200 videos for members. That's already archived. It's well over 200 members videos. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, let's finish this up. There's only about a minute left, so let's finish this up right here. Here we go.
That Malcolm X debated at the Oxford Union. I have been invited, coming in the tradition of El Hajj Malik El Shabbat.
Yeah, but who are you debating though, Umar? I don't know. Maybe he's not debating anyone. And thanks, User 225.
As the Prince of Pan Africanism will represent Malcolm X at the Oxford Union on
You're representing Malcolm X. What are you talking about?
Thursday, May the 29th, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. If you have a podcast in the UK, I have some time to do podcast interviews Wednesday before the Manchester University event.
You're right, Miss Independent. He sure is. And then it just cuts off. This video, too, there's a lot of, run them donations, baby. There's a lot of edits in here. I haven't seen the full video, and I want to close out with this. The one thing I noticed, I don't know exactly what's going on, and then we're done. On Umar's Instagram page, when he live streams, they're not being archived anymore for some reason. So something must be going on with Instagram. And he has been largely silent on social media for the most part. He'll post like, on his Instagram page, memes and stuff like that. But he's not actively producing content, at least not consistently, like he normally would be around this time each year. And I don't think that something's going on with his Instagram page. He doesn't have can't access Facebook like he used to. He doesn't have a YouTube page. They shut him down a long time ago. He also was on TikTok. They shut him down on TikTok too. And here he's struggling on Instagram. That's interesting because he calls other people struggle streamers. Umar, you're the ultimate struggle streamer. Not only do you can you not maximize on your audience to such a degree when you have that's meaningful when you have over 1 million followers, but you get shut down on other platforms time and time again. And you're doing all of this while you're living in your mama closet, and you're homeless, and you're jobless, and you're carless. Right? You're the ultimate struggle streamer. All right. Okay. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I appreciate y'all's presence. We got 582 likes. If we get to 18 more, we get to 600. Let's see if we can do it before we close out this video. I want to thank the mods for handling business today. I also want to thank everyone who sent in super chats. I really do appreciate it. If you sent in cash apps or PayPal, I just have someone send me a cash app. Thank you so much. I hooked you up too because you had asked a question. You got hooked up. You should be able to get back up in here. If anyone's having problems getting into the YouTube into the chat room, you can send me an email, LenonHonor@yahoo.com, and I'll look into it. Or if you're having problems with becoming a member, let me know. Normally, what the issue is just you have to be on a different device for whatever reason. There's people who run into that problem in the past too. So hopefully we can get that corrected. Just get onto another device, see if you can join that way. Okay. I plan on live streaming tomorrow. We'll live stream for members only and also a live stream for everyone. And we'll just pick up where we left off here. There's a couple other videos I want to get to, and we'll be caught up on all this Umar Johnson content. Still working on the next segment for the documentary. And I'm at a point where I'm dealing with Umar when he meets, when he's a graduate student and he meets his first baby mama and everything that happens that he talks about, at least his narrative. I ain't going to have all of it in the documentary, but I have enough to show how batshit crazy he is and how much of a liar he is. And then I'll continue to progress. I'm going to try to get through his college years to all of his master's degrees. And then by that time, we'll get closer to 2010 when he makes the announcement that FDMG will open September 11, 2013. And then it gets really crazy, as many of you guys already know. All right. Shout out to the Cookie Crush chat. Cookie Crush chat's undefeated. Again, I hope you all enjoyed the show. And we'll be back very, very soon. Okay. And as we always do. Oh, here we go. I got to rewind it back to the part. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, so you're fancy, huh?
Yeah, black community activist.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See her eyes shine, she's my snow bunny, please. In the winter light, so she's my
All right,
sweet
everyone. Jesus Christ, thanks for tuning on in. We got 582 likes, 18 more to get to 600. Can we get to 600 before we close out? Oh, we got it. We already at 606. Thank y'all so much. I would say next time make it 610, but I ain't gonna be greedy like Umar. Thank y'all so much. Cooker Test Undefeated. Derek. Hey, Keylogger. Keylogger been around a long time too. Try Guy. Miss Independent. Math Sayon. Divine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. Drew. Derek. Indigo. Thank you for tuning on in, dear. Leslie and Zane Montego. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Biscuits and Bunnies on the rise. Biscuits and Bunnies, that's crazy. Yeah, there you go, Jerry. Thank you so much. You set it off today. Thank you so much for tuning on in. B8, Manzette, and Sister Bridget. How you doing? Yo, graduating from high school tomorrow. Well, let's pause just for a second. Congratulations to the baby. I know you proud. I know you proud. I hope she has a great graduation, and I'm sure she will. And congratulations to you. Okay. It ain't just the kids that graduate. It's all the work that the mama and the daddy be putting in. So thank you so much, Bridget. Congratulations. That makes me happy. Here we go. Yeah, he's sassy. Mr. Travel. yeah, not the buddy eye. How's it going, Mike? Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. It's that time of the year. You got to get these babies graduated. They get a job or go to college, one or two. Look at me getters. Yeah. All right, congratulations, BA. Yeah, you got the prom and graduate. I don't mean to pause it, but yeah, that's awesome.
See your eyes shine, she's my snow bunny please. In the winter lights, so she's my sweet desperation. Talk to my nose, this lover's got is so raw. Make you move, stepping out of control.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone who got babies graduating. Okay. Yeah, I got to go ask my daughter now. I have to go to Six Candace. I got to ask my daughter because I thought she said, because we were talking about Hidden Colors. She says, yeah, I saw that movie. They played it at my school. But I think that she was talking about Hidden Figures. So I'm going to go back down there right now and say, wait a minute, because I just want to be clear about that. I think about it. All right. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Thanks, everyone. We got the 600 likes. Thank you so much. We reached our goal for that. We reached our goal for the poll question. And we had a wonderful show today. Thank you guys so much. Please enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll be back tomorrow. Much love to you all. Love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all's support as we continue with this Umar Johnson saga. And I'll talk to y'all very, very soon. All right, y'all take care. Peace.